is the palming, which is just not called at the NBA level, even though guys are constantly doing it. That's a big play. Another nice job. Alicia Quinones, it's not going to show up in the stat line as a ginormous game, but she has done so many little things right today, and it's a big reason why the Beacons are back within 4 and have a chance here on their home floor. It's not her senior day, but she is the lone junior on this team. It'll possibly her last home regular season game, even last home game period.
Lazy pass from Jackson, intercepted. Korzik trying to take it coast to coast, and she does. What a huge play, back up to 6 points. A barrier the Beacons hadn't been able to penetrate for a while. They had, and now it's back up.
Yeah, nice job by Korzik reading the pass. A little bit too much from behind it from Jackson, but also Grassi was blind, had no idea the player was there. Someone's got to let her know, even the bench on that side.
Jackson trying to make up for it, rims out on the free throw. She goes down. Offense or defensive rebound for Examon. Good play from Grassi to get down and break up the feed on a long stretch intended for Empey. And we are going to see possession go towards the Corsairs and a timeout on the court. Seth, the secondary players, we talked about it for UMass Boston in pregame. They were going to have to step up. But likewise for the Corsairs. Examon had 20 points in the first half. She is still at 20. She has 0 points in the second half, and yet they maintain the lead.
Well, it all started with a really strong play of Ashley Brown. I mean, she was hitting a lot of shots, especially when the Beacons were getting back into the game in the third quarter, but also give credit to Korzik, and that's kind of their big three. Empey has played extremely well. Carrero hit a couple of big shots in the third quarter. UMass Boston's done a better job. Beacons bigs haven't really been picking up fouls here in the third and fourth. The issue is right now, down by 6. I love the fact that the media timeout came right now if you're UMass Boston, because you were probably thinking about using a timeout. You need to get a stop here. You cannot let UMass Dartmouth bloat this back out to 8 or 10 points. And then, can you get some better looks? You need to tighten it up. UMass Boston's been a little bit loose with the ball the last couple possessions. The other thing is, all right, at some point, it's just going to be a bad shooting night. Jackson has really struggled. Grassi has struggled a little bit. Can you find a way to get back to the free throw line? Because right now, two fouls on UMass Dartmouth, 0 on UMass Boston. The Beacons need to get into that bonus where they've been so good. The other thing is, if UMass Boston is forced to foul late, not having any fouls through the first 5 minutes actually hurts them a little bit. But the Beacons have plenty of time to get back into this game down 6.
4:55 to go here in the fourth quarter. Inbounds coming from the baseline. It'll be Ashley Brown to take it. She's out there with Examond as well as Moretti. She hands it off to Examond, back to Brown. Great give and go, and off the iron and out. Empey also out there, as well as Korzik for the Corsairs. The rebound, though, Jamie Staples, and then Staples gets her pocket picked. No awareness of what was behind him. Moretti pokes it free. Beautiful behind the back feed from Korzik to Moretti, and she sees it swatted away by Joey Grassi.
See, John, I disagree. That's not a lack of awareness. That player went through the ball handling side. She went through the shoulder. There was clear contact. I think the refs missed that one, but a great job by Grassi to deny the fast break points.
Still no fouls on UMass Boston here in the fourth, too. On the course, there's another block for Gianna Williams, and she continues to excel against Examon down low here in the fourth.
Well, the only issue that Nikira has is she's kind of falls into a rhythm where she goes into a lot of the same looks. Williams has played her enough times the last 2 years where she recognizes that. She's also just so athletic and so long where she makes it really tough on Nikira.
Big possession here. Beacons down 6. Korzik finds Empey for 3. Off back iron. Rebound offensively taken by Brown.
Yeah, but that was Moretti tipping it over the hands of Staples, who was waiting for it. A big tip. It's been a long possession, and the Beacons desperately need a stop.
Korzik finds Moretti. Empey one-on-one with Grassi. And now Korzik. Quinone is still out there, tries to go in and draw the foul. She does. It's on the floor, no shot. First foul of the quarter for UMass Boston.
So this will be the 5th chance UMass Dartmouth has had. Once you start with the Joey Grassi block out of bounds, a couple offensive rebounds as Jackson will check back in. Can UMass Boston get a stop and get a rebound? They're forcing some missed shots, but you need to get that rebound. These offensive rebounds have killed them throughout this game.
Less than 4 minutes to go now. Still a 2-possession game. 6 points separating the teams. Turnover force. Grassi swatted it away right to Mazik.
Yeah, Examon kind of fell into the teeth of the Beacons defense. 2 bigs were there double team here, and then Mazik was giving help. 3 Beacons in the vicinity.
Quick pull-up jumper. Tajay Mazik. Nothing but net. She drills it It's back down to 4, 58-54.
UMass Boston's been good from that spot. A lot of shots, deep twos from straight away, and they've hit most of them.
3.5 to go. Down low, Examon still looking for her first points of the second half, and she misses again.
Again, the help defense this time. Quinones coming over, forcing Examon to pick up the dribble. UMass Boston has really done a nice job to slow down Examon after a 20-point first half.
Beacons got it down to 2 a few minutes ago. Back up to 6, now at 4. Quinones finds Jackson one-on-one with Moretti. Grassi, almost traveled again. She kept her pivot. Quinones finds Mazik, looking for another jumper. This one's off iron and out. Rebound to Moretti. Moretti finds Korzek. That back is Grassi. Korzek takes it down the baseline. Got herself in a tough position. Quinones late back, almost took it away. But MP is able to rip it far from her grasp. And then down low, great feed taken in, as that was an awkward pass by Korzek, as she was able to get it back to Brown.
Down to 10 on the shot clock, John.
8 seconds, as you said. 7 now finds Empey. Empey trying to go back down low, and that reach of Grassi on the Grassi knoll as she takes it away. Joey all the way in, and she bricks the layup with 2:22 to go.
Was there enough there for a foul from Exmon? We're going to have to take a look. It looked like a little bit of hip-to-hip contact. I cannot believe Grassi didn't have that dribble stolen. It looked like she was a magician. The ball went right through the hand of Empey.
Brown, she's done it a couple of times, cannot get it. The offensive rebound, and deja vu as Korzek flies above the forwards for UMass Boston.
No box out from Jackson there. Let the bigger player jump free and an easy rebound.
Examond finding Moretti by way of Brown, and that one off iron. That should be out of bounds, and it is, with 1:52 to go. A couple of substitutions for the Corsairs, and we're going to get a timeout for Christina Ball and the Beacons.
So let's see if we can get that last play where Grassi obviously went too strong. She was expecting contact. She was expecting the foul, which is why it was too strong. But is there enough here hip to hip? We'll start with this dribble where I still don't know how Empey wasn't able to steal it away, because it looked like Empey had her hand right there. So we get this for you right here. So Grassi and Examon, and Grassi jumps in Examon. So the right call there. Examon did a nice job of staying up straight. That's a situation where you can't anticipate the contact and play for the foul. You need to go up strong regardless of the fact that the best shot blocker in the conference is right next to you. Grassi a little bit too strong there. The Beacons, a minute 52, somehow only down 4, because it feels like this game easily could have spun out of control for large parts of this game. You need to get good looks, and for me, you need to attack the basket. That's where you've had your success today. You haven't shot the ball well. You haven't hit, I don't believe they've hit a 3 yet. So you're not going to hit a couple threes to cut into this 4-point deficit now. Need to make a couple of shots, get to the free throw line, and force UMass Dartmouth into some turnovers or into some contested shots on the other end.
Really is incredible. It's a 4-point game considering Beacons haven't made a 3. They haven't attempted that many. As the Beacons have possession. A chance to cut it back down to 1. Possession, that is, or 1 point with their first 3 of the day. Jackson finds Mazik down low. Grassi triple team quickly, but she's still, with that quick twitch, able to put it up and over. It's back down to 2.
Great job sealing off the defender there, Empey, and that was McMahon. A really, really nice take from Grassi. The Beacons have only been within 2 once before in this half.
58-56. 85 seconds to go. Down low. McMahon D'd up Williams. Another block for Gianna Williams as she says no, no, no. Circa Dikembe Mutombo here in the 4th quarter. That's got to be 5 or 6 blocks at least.
Minimum in the quarter. She has been the defensive hero for the Beacons in the 4th.
Now the Beaks can try it or take the lead. 65 seconds to go.
Examon's on Grassi. A little bit of a change defensively for UMass Dartmouth.
Quinones picks up the dribble, tightly covered, finds Jackson. 8 seconds on the shot clock. Jelani driving, tried to draw the foul. They're going to say deflected, and just 5 seconds on the shot clock. Possession stays with UMass Boston.
Christina Ball electing not to use her timeout here. Beacons need to get a good look out of the timeout. Can they get a wide open jump shot or a player going to the hoop?
58-56. The inbound's coming with just 5 to go on the shot clock. Beacons have not led since it was 3-0. Down low Williams. She's done it defensively, and she'll head to the stripe for 2 as Gianna Williams will head to the charity stripe hoping for more. And are they going to say it's on the floor?
No, they definitely went up for it. It's interesting. This is such a gutsy call because it's very close to a 5-second call.
The Beacons are all lining up to shoot. Williams thinks she's shooting free throws. The Corsairs disagree, and referees say, yeah, she's shooting 2 free throws. So they will all head down.
We're going to get you this inbound play between the free throws. This is such a good play because everyone else is moving, and Gianna just kind of stays in that short corner, waiting, and then eventually she makes that move. You run very close to the 5-second call, but the Beacon's patient enough. That's tough on the inbounder. Williams too strong. Let's take a look at that play. This takes a lot of patience from Alicia Quinones. As you see, Williams comes around the screen as Examon clears out, and now she's got to hit this second one, and it's up and good. So back within a point, you don't need to foul here. And the other thing is you'd have to give up a couple of fouls to really cause any issues for UMass Dartmouth because you only have given up the one. Yeah. It's 5 to shoot free throws.
45 seconds left. The Beacons have narrowed it down to the closest margin since it was the first couple of minutes when it was 6-3. That was the closest it was in the first few minutes on a 3-point opportunity. And so here we go. Korzek back for Brown, almost threw it away. Great recovery, Brown, and then almost turned over, but a chance now for Moretti as the shot clock expires, and just like that, a huge turnover, and with the shot clock unplugged, the Beacons can win it with 23.4 to go. Timeout, UMass Boston.
Alicia Quinones again. It's unbelievable what Alicia Quinones has done in this game. If we can get you that last play, Quinones recognizing that ball's going to Examon. Despite giving up a lot of size, they're able to fight her off, force the ball to go back out. Alicia Quinones and Gianna Williams are the heroes of this game, and they probably have a combined 10 points. It's incredible what these two have done defensively.
And Seth, 23 seconds, 23.4 exactly. Shot clock is unplugged, a 1-point game. What are you doing?
Well, you're taking a shot with somewhere between 5 and 7 seconds. You have to give yourself a chance to get the offensive rebound. What I'm looking for is we're going to take a look at that last play and just show the defensive play here by Quinones, who slides over to help on Examon as Williams was there to start. The Beacons nearly had the turnover, and Williams is out of position. That's a great play by Quinones to recognize. I'm looking for Joey Grassi first and foremost. Then I'm looking for Jelani Jackson. If not, I'm looking for Tajay Masick. One of my big three is taking this shot.
Down low, Grassi is fouled, and she is headed to the floor, I should say. Now that is only the 4th foul, and so they had that foul to give. I don't know you want to do it that way, just off the inbounds, but that is the 4th as well on Examon, just in case this game goes deeper than regulation.
Well, that's the big thing. The 4th on UMass Dartmouth, the 4th on Examon. If this game finishes in a tie, as we're going to see another timeout, just a 30, then UMass Dartmouth for the 2nd straight game will be without Examon in overtime. UMass Dartmouth coming off of a double overtime loss in which they ran out of players. Examon's the big one. We've got that play, and the issue here for Examon is A, Grassi's wide open, but also B, this ball's floated up. She thought, I'm going to get there, and goes right through Grassi, who had nice positioning. So UMass Boston found Grassi wide open. They're going to look for something similar, but the other thing is, and this is more me than maybe the Beacons coaching staff, I don't want to take this shot right away. I'm willing to, at home, I'm willing to go for the win right now and kill a little bit of clock, because if you get that look and you're able to take the lead, UMass Dartmouth's coming right back, and they're going to get enough time to get a good shot. So I want to wait till under 10. I don't know if Christina Ball's staff wants to do the same thing, but that's my basketball philosophy.
We'll see what they decide to do. They'll inbounds from the baseline. They've been hit or miss from this area today, inbounding. They find Jackson. She's got the layup and rims out, and a foul is called late, and the Beacons will head to the charity stripe for 2 here with 20.8 to go, and the Corsairs cannot believe it.
I think they're going to get Korzek on the left hand as she released it. Jackson has had so many looks. That's the 3rd on Korzek. You look at Jackson, who's one of the top free throw shooters in the conference, 11 of 12. Got to hit the first, take the pressure off yourself, but UMass Dartmouth's going to have a ton of time left with 20.8 left on the clock.
Beacons do have some fouls to give should they go that route, as this game is tied for the first time since it was 3-3 in the early going of this affair. The Beacons have made it all the way back. Can they sink the Corsair ship here in the final 20.8? The second free throw is true from Jackson, and a timeout, UMass Dartmouth. The Beacons from the boards are back on the board, and they are up 59-58. And Seth, now it comes down to that defense that's been so exceptional.
Well, you know that the ball is going to one of two players. The intended recipient on this play is either Nakira Examon or Ashley Brown, and it's probably in that order. So the big thing for UMass Boston is they've been helping on Examon all game long. But what they've done a better job here in the second half is the help defender on Ashley Brown has been recognizing and staying close enough that that's not an easy pass and an easy dish for three. Those are the two players you have to start with. Everyone else, they can hurt you because UMass Dartmouth has 7 or 8 players who are extremely good. But those are the two players, if you're UMass Boston, we're saying we're taking them away. You're going to see a double team on Nakira Examon. You're not going to see a player fronting and a player behind. You're going to see that second defender come over fast, maybe a third defender. And you're right, they do have fouls to give, just the one foul. So if you foul, and you're likely to foul Examon of any of those players, A, she's not a great free throw shooter, but B, foul her before she goes up, make them have to get the ball to her again in a good post position rather than giving an easy look. 20.8, we could still see 2, if not 3 possessions left in this game, especially with the Beacons shooting the double bonus if they were to be fouled.
Same lineup for the Beacons out there. Corsairs counter as well. It's Brown, Moretti, Korzak, Empey, and of course Nakira Examon, who as you see has 2 players straddling her, and Williams, who's been outstanding here in the fourth defensively, and Grassi. Now they inbound it to Moretti. 18 seconds to go. They're trying to foul, looked like. Instead, pass down low. Examon, beautiful dribble drive right back in, and that one is good. 13.5 to go. Beacons don't have a timeout, I don't believe, Seth, and so they're going to have to press it. 8 seconds left. 1-point lead for the Corsairs. Jackson to take the lead. Off the mark. Moretti gets it, and there's the foul, but with so many fouls still to go, that is, don't want to say the end, but that is a big time sequence and a timeout on the court. And a timeout for Dartmouth.
And the tough part is that's a shot Jackson has hit a lot this season. She's just having a really tough shooting night from the field. I mean, she's got 17 that leads the Beacons, but she's now 2 of 10. I think she rushed that a little bit. The issue here is with those 3 seconds, and you have to give 3 fouls to force free throws, is you have to give the foul quick, and you'd like, especially with that third foul, unless you can force the turnover here, you'd like to get it on Examon because she's the weakest link of the free throw shooters. UMass Boston has worked so hard to get back in this game. That's tough. But right now, can you force the steal? And you're right, the Beacons are out of timeouts, or at least that's what it looks like. So UMass Boston can't get the steal and then call a timeout, advance the ball. They've got to immediately have players leaking out the other way.
Quick inbound. Oh, it's taken away. And they're going to call a foul, it looks like, on UMass Boston. Coach Ball can't believe it. They didn't have a timeout anyway, so it really would have required a half-court shot. But it takes 1.2 off the clock, and it's just the third foul and the fourth on Jackson.
Yeah, I mean, that was tough because, again, it's the referee on the near side. They're going to put time up on the clock because that was the fastest 1.2 seconds we've seen. We saw UMass Dartmouth irate earlier, and that's going to only be 1.2. So they're going to add a little bit of time, I believe. I think this should be over 2 seconds from what we saw in the first half. It was interesting. It was the near side referee. The referee had to see through a ton of traffic who gave it, and they're going to put 2 seconds even on the clock.
Speaking, still need a foul 2 more times.
2.3, so that's a little bit more time because if you figure that took 0.7, you can get 2 quick fouls. At least you're getting a 3/4 court heave. You're giving yourself a chance. Or you can get the steal and then maybe a half-court shot.
They'll do it again with 2.2 now. They finalize on that. 2.2 seconds, so that is an inbound. Oh, deflecting it, Mazik, and they don't call the foul, and the time will run out for the second consecutive season and the third time in program history. The UMass Dartmouth Corsairs are the champions of the Little East Conference regular season. They down the UMass Boston Beacons in a nail-biter, 60-59, here from Clark Athletic Center. What a comeback, Seth. Unfortunately, just too much. Or too little in the end.
I mean, UMass Boston's not going to be happy with losing this game, but I don't think they're going to be that upset. This was a really nice job of fighting through a game in which your top offensive player struggled mightily, in which your second best offensive player struggled mightily, and yet despite shooting 18% at home in the first half, the Beacons found themselves in this game. They took a lead. They didn't get that late break. I mean, Tajay Mazik, if she's able to steal that ball, she has a chance at a game-winning shot. That went off of her hand, and then she wasn't able to get the tip. This was a really strong performance. I think they can take something away from this heading into the game next weekend, potentially next weekend against UMass Dartmouth, especially how they defended Examon in the second half. If nothing else, that was a huge key.
We're going to go to commercial break. When we come up back, we'll wrap it up, get you a preview of the men's game coming up in a little bit. Beacons fall 60-59. This is the Beacons Broadcasting Network. Welcome back to the Beacons Broadcasting Network. John Skudras with Coach Christina Ball. Coach, what a performance in that second half. We talked at halftime. Obviously, there were some things you wanted to work on. You wanted the team to stay physical, though, with Exmon, and you did that in the second half. You got her in foul trouble. She got that third foul, and then she sat for a while, and you guys never really saw her do much against you. Gianna Williams, what a performance in the fourth. 5 or 6 blocks in that quarter alone. You had to like what you saw against this Corsairs team, a team you're really familiar with, even though the result wasn't in your favor.
Yeah, we had a chance to win tonight, so I thought we responded to our halftime of relaxing, getting back to rhythm basketball, put up 23 points in the third. So if we can do that once a night, it makes us very, very dangerous. But I'm really proud of our defense. We made the adjustments, our kids bought into it, and we fought. We protected our home court, so had a couple chances to win down the stretch, and we make a couple free throws, the game's over. So I'm just really happy of our kids, and this was the start of the playoffs for us. So if we can fight like that and put a couple more things together, it's going to be a good run.
Yeah, absolutely. And with the way you guys shot today, not your best. Jelani, despite the fact she had some beautiful performances here this season, not her best shooting day, though. She was outstanding from the charity stripe. You have to feel pretty confident about the way you played. You lost by 1, despite the fact that for much of this game you were shooting below 20%. And now here you are with an opportunity. Now with them winning the conference regular season, you're going to go back to a Corsairs team that you guys won last year in. So you have to feel confident that you know how to beat this team come postseason time.
Yeah, we have to defend and rebound. It's the same thing every year. It doesn't change months. I believe if you defend, rebound, and make free throws, you got a chance. And we had a chance tonight.
Absolutely. Now, from the on the court to the off the court, Play for K, obviously very important to all your girls, you as well. It's a great cause. Everybody is touched in some way by cancer, certainly breast cancer. Just talk a little bit about how important it is to you. The loss is tough, but still, it's all a good cause, and it's almost a win either way.
Absolutely. It was a great day today on a Wednesday. I mean, what a crowd tonight. Yeah. They really got into it. They got their pink on, and today it was about giving back to somebody else, and it was Play for K Day, so we're really happy we could participate in that. And yeah, we hope we did coach you out well.
You certainly did, Coach. Thank you so much. Good luck Saturday and beyond. That's Coach Christina Ball. Her team losing 60-59. What a comeback, though. Trailed by as many as 13 points in the second half. Things turned their way late in that second half, but unfortunately we're not able to finish the job late in the waning moments. We're going to go to a break. When we come back, we'll wrap things up with a bow, as well as take a look at the men's game. They're warming up right behind us. That one should get underway in less than 20 minutes, so we're going to have to make it quick right here on the Beacons Broadcasting Network. She's D'd up by Korzak, driving with the right hand into the key. Nice move by Quinones, putting on the pivot step and gets to begin the second half along with the rest of the starters. McMahon, Korzak, and Brown as coming down low. Examon, and an offensive foul is the call. And the driving down baseline, back to Tajay. Thompson looking to get that elbow jumper again, and 2 for 2 on the jump. Gonzalez, she drives, better feed out far side. Brown, open three-point attempt, drills it. Silence the crowd a little.
Second half, those aren't your go-to scores. Those aren't your high-volume scores as Thompson's well off in the second.
And an offensive rebound.
Extending possessions.
Off the inbounds baseline, three-pointer is drained by Korzak. Her
Beacons on those looks.
Jackson finds Staples, good pump fake, back inside the three-point line. Nice shot from Jamie Staples, who just entered.
Well, that was too easy. Empey got that inside position and was able to close off Williams. The Beacons can't give up that inside look, especially to players not named Examon.
Back in. So too does Carrero for the Corsairs. Driving runner for Brown, and the foul as she connects.
After a abysmal 6 of 31, 18% mark in the first half.
Tough shot from Jackson with the right hand.
With Examon on the bench, can they get the stops to get them fully back in this game?
Looking for another Carrero. She does it again. 5 points on 2 shots in the
enough to make it a more difficult shot.
Pull up 3-pointer. Grassi draws the foul. A huge
home regular season game, even last home game period.
Lazy pass from Jackson, intercepted. Korzik trying to take it coast to coast, and she does. What a huge play. There's the rebound, though. Jamie Staples, and then Staples gets her pocket picked. No awareness of what was behind him already. Pokes it free. Beautiful behind the back feed from Korzik to Moretz of Grassi on the Grassi knoll as she takes it away. Joey all the way in. Oh, and she bricks the layup. First 3 of the day. Jackson finds Mazik down low. Grassi triple team quickly, but she's still, with that quick twitch, able to put it up. Beacons have not led since it was 3-0. Down low, Williams. She's done it defensively, and she'll head to the stripe for 2 as Gianna. And so here we go. Korzik back for Brown. Almost threw it away. Great recovery, Brown, and then almost turned over, but a chance now for Moretti as the shot clock expires. And just like that, a huge turnover. And with the shot
for Tajay Mazik, one of my big 3 is taking this shot.
Down low, Grassi is fouled, and she is headed to the area today, inbounding. They find Jackson. She's got the layup and rims out, and a foul is called late, and the Beacons will head to the to go. They're trying to foul, looked like instead. Pass down low, Examon, beautiful dribble drive right back in, and that one is good. 13.5 to go. Beacons don't have. Welcome back, John Scooters along with Seth Orensky. Beacons falling 60-59. Let's take a look at the final stats here on your screen. Beacons, they shot under 20% in the first half, much better in the second half, but still just 29%. Didn't make a single 3-pointer. On the other side, one for a quarter ratio, 25% for the Corsairs from beyond the arc, 37% overall. The rebounds, the Beacons actually won 42-40. Assists, as you can see there, much better team basketball game played by the Corsairs. I still look at that 3-point percentage, and I'm amazed.
Well, it was just an example of the Beacons not shooting well as a team. I mean, the Beacons didn't get 3-point looks. They clearly were focused at going hard to the hoop, and that was the reason they were in this game, because they didn't shoot all that well. 25 of 33. I don't think Dartmouth had a free throw in the last 12, 13 minutes of the game, whereas the Beacons were living there. 25 of 33, 75.8% above the season average, but they had most of their misses in the second half. This was a defensive battle. That's the big thing that stands out for me. And in the end, Nakira Examon, the best player, 20 points in the first half, only 2 in the second, but it's the game-winning bucket. Beacons did a really nice job on her. Just couldn't put together enough baskets to take the lead they needed heading into those last couple minutes.
Take a look at the final individual statistics. As we mentioned, Examon, 20 points in the first half. She finished with 22, still led the way. Ashley Brown, 16, second for the Corsairs. Examon, 10 boards. Not a whole lot in the second half. She was at 8 or 9. Yeah, 8 in the first half, so only 2. So 2 points, 2 boards in the second half for Examon. Danielle Gonzalez, 4 assists. Jess Korzik, 4 steals. And Lauren Empey off the bench with 5 blocks to lead the Corsairs. For the Beacons, despite Jelani Jackson not shooting well, she did lead the way with 17 points. Jory Grassi was very quiet in the first half, picked it up in the second, finished with 11. Quinones led the way in rebounds, and she was, Seth, I just want to point her out, she was outstanding today.
Quinones and Gianna Williams, for me, that's what I'm taking away from this game, how well those two played. The top 2 players, 28 points, but shot 5 of 22 from the field. That's well below their season average. But the Beacons were in this game because of the hustle plays, because of the defensive plays those two made. If they can play like that, and the stars, I say in parentheses, but the big-time scorers can shoot better, UMass Boston's going to be really dangerous next week. And I like the fact that Coach said it. This is the start of the playoffs. Going to Rick's going to be tough on Saturday. The Beacons are likely going to have to play the LAC quarterfinal round, because they're likely going to be the 3 or the 4 seed, so they'll play that on Tuesday. But, I mean, it's good to play games like this going into the playoffs, because it gets you in that right mindset. You don't want to be beating teams by 40 or 50. You want to be playing like-for-like games so that you're ready when that final winner-go-home game happens. You've been in similar situations.
Absolutely. So the Beacons fall 60-59. I want to thank our production crew for coming on out and helping us out here. Gigi Bragg, our producer, our directors, Allie Crawford and Alyssa Fugel. Mary Jo Murphy on Instant Replay. Our camera operators, Shay Anwar, Mel Fitzgerald, Alyssa Tully, and Jill Francis. For Seth Orensky, I'm John Scudris. The UMass Dartmouth Corsairs, the champions of the LEC regular season for the second consecutive year as they down your UMass Boston Beacons 60-59. Until next time, good night, good luck, and good basketball. We'll see you right here on the Beacons Broadcasting Network. Hello and welcome to Clark Athletic Center. Along with Gigi Braga, I am John Scuders getting you set for the penultimate game of the UMass Boston Beacons 2018-19 season as your Beaks take on the 17-6 UMass Dartmouth Corsairs. This year has been a trying season for Jason Harris's club, 11-11 overall, 6-8 in the LEC. Meanwhile, UMass Dartmouth has won 4 straight and will finish no lower than 3rd in the conference. They could finish first by winning out and getting some help this weekend. Gigi, welcome you into the broadcast booth. First of all, nice to be with you.
Oh, it's a pleasure to be here with you, John. I mean, first time doing basketball with you, I believe.
Yeah, we did soccer, I believe.
We did. We did a couple of soccer games, switching it up, doing a winter sport.
Branching out, diversifying, if you will. And as we are coming close, it is, of course, senior day, so this is a big moment for many players on the court. We'll get to that as the ceremony gets underway in about 2 minutes' time. But first, taking a look at the team so far, they still have a very good chance of making the postseason. Of course, 6 teams, Gigi, make the playoffs in the LEC. If you take a look at the LEC standings, and the Beacons right now sit right on the cusp at 5. However, if they lose today, then they would fall behind Rick and fall into that 6th seed, and they are very close to where Plymouth State currently sits, the team that the Beacons just lost to last time out, 75 to 71, excuse me. So the Beacons know they have something to play for, and they know that on senior day there is a lot at stake.
Well, I mean, yeah, not only that it's senior day, but this is a huge game for them. And against a UMass Dartmouth team that they only lost to them by 4 this season. Last year they got a season sweep of UMass Dartmouth. And, it's always a tight game between these two. I mean, whether it's the in-state rivalry, whatever you want to call it, these two teams play a really tight, close game. And it's going to come down to that. Especially here today. And then UMass Boston faces Rhode Island College, which is going to be an even bigger game because both of those teams are fighting for that 5th and 6th spot in the playoffs that obviously both teams want to make it in.
Yeah, absolutely. And both of these teams right now, if the season ended today, would be in, but it's very much in doubt whether or not the Beacons are going to have the opportunity to do so, as they're going to have to win at least one of their final 2 games in order to do that. But there's still plenty of time left for the Beacons to turn a season around that has seen them really stumble out of the stretch here in the second half of the season. UMass Boston is just 5-7 since the new year, and they've only put together 1 winning streak of 2 or more games. So the Beacons definitely want to get some momentum heading into the postseason if they're even able to get there. Even worse, the Beacons will play UMass Dartmouth in the first round if the season ended today. So this is a team the Beacons are familiar with as we get underway, Gigi, for the senior day ceremony. UMass Boston, we have an issue with our graphics folks. So disregard that. We will try to get that to you as soon as possible. But Gigi and I are professionals. We can handle this. We can cover for it. The Beacon seniors, not a plethora. In fact, they only have the one, and that's Robert Nascimento, who is starting today. The 6'7", 240-pound senior from Boston, Massachusetts. Take a look at him on your screen there. You know, you have not had a senior day yet. You've obviously partaken in other people's. It's got to be quite a feeling.
One more year.
It's got to be quite a feeling when you're the only one that's there for that.
Hey, I mean, anyone on this team will tell you about Rob Nascimento. I mean, he's one of these guys, and we'll see it at halftime when we take a look at our Beacon Spotlight. You know, he's not the guy that's going to get the most minutes on this team. That's not his role, but you put this guy in the locker room, you put him on the bench, he is one of the greatest characters you will ever meet, and he's really the heart and soul of this UMass Boston team. I mean, guys come off the bench, they got their head down, and he's the first one to be right there and say, hey, you got this, pick it up, we're going to be doing it. And that's who Robert Nascimento is, and it's going to be really interesting, and Coach Harris will be the first one to tell you of what this team's going to do without him next year. He's, you know, really their big motivational guy, and, you know, for him getting his first start here today it's got to be big for him. I'm excited to see him play.
Certainly will be, and you call Rob Nascimento a character. That's saying something, because, Gigi, you're one of the more... how should I put this? One of the more outstanding characters I've met since I broadcast here on Beaconville. Animated, I should say. You always come to play, whether it be on the field or up here in the broadcast booth.
Hey, when you got a women's game like we just had about 15 minutes ago, and that's an exhilarating, you know, last 6 minutes of that game, how can you not be excited, right?
Absolutely, and we're excited for what's to come here in the men's game. Now, obviously, the men have a big task ahead of them. We'll get you the starting lineups here. I'll just let you know who they are. As I said, we do have the issues with the graphics right now. For UMass Dartmouth, starting at guard, Marcus Azor, 6-foot freshman from Brockton. Joining him in the backcourt, Jake Ashworth, a 6'1" sophomore from Fairhaven, Massachusetts. In the front court, Attican Atcam, a 6'5" senior from Ankara, Turkey. And joining him, Arinzi Obiora, who was dominant against the Beacons the last time these two teams played. He scored 25 points, 18 rebounds, 2 blocks, and 2 assists. He's 6'5" out of Hyde Park. And Sean Leahy, the lone freshman in the front court to start. He's at 6'5" out of Hanson, Massachusetts. And Gigi, this is a team that the Beacons played earlier on this season and was absolutely outstanding against, despite obviously Arinzi Abiora's great performance. The Beacons held that to a 4-point game. They only lost 70-66. Alex Sanchez at 17 off the bench. If they're going to win today, they're going to have to find a way to slow down Obiora.
I mean, they're going to have to find a way to slow down every man on this roster, especially Obiora. Like you said, he's the one to highlight for the Corsairs. But you take a look at their roster. They have, let's see, Obiora is at 6'5", Leahy's at 6'5", Atcam is at 6'5". This Beacons team, in their starting lineup, their tallest player would be Javaris Hill, standing at 6'2". So not only, I mean, and this is a struggle that the Beacons have faced, you know, day in and day out throughout the entire season, is their size, but that to no way, shape, or form is going to take them out of this contest. They're just going to have to find a way to handle the Corsairs' big men, and I think that that's going to be one of their biggest tasks along, and if we could get the keys to the game to you, we would, but our graphics are still down. We're working on that, folks, but you really got to not get into foul trouble, and especially in this first half, that is your biggest key, is do not get into foul trouble, because if this game is in any indication like it was the previous 4 games, it's going to come down to the wire.
Opening tip won by Obiora. The Beacon starters today in the backcourt, Alex Sanchez standing at 5'6", Charlie Mitchell at 5'10", and Dasan Cinelli at 6'2". In the front court, Javaris Hill and the senior Robert Nascimento gets it on D and gets the ball as he takes that one away. Nascimento getting on the score sheet early on in his senior day performance this evening. Just 30 seconds in, we'll play 2 20-minute halves. Sanchez, who led the team with 17 points. Last time these two teams played, a 4-point victory for the Corsairs. As I mentioned in the open, Dartmouth still very much in play for the number 1 seed. The women's team just wrapped it up as the Beacons turn it over off the hands of Sanchez on a feed from Cinelli. Meanwhile, UMass Boston, they're going to have to win one of these last 2 games to clinch a playoff berth. If they win them both, they could get as high as 4, and they can fall right out of it if they lose them both. With the ball, second possession here, it is Azor connecting far side with Leahy. Leahy for 3, that one off the front iron and out. Rebound by the shortest man on the court, Sanchez.
That's something you might be saying very often throughout this game. Don't let Alex Sanchez's height fool you from getting those boards.
Good move down low, getting ripped away, but drawing the foul was Javaris Hill, a freshman from Lynn. And he has been a solid pickup here as a freshman and a recruit. He's leading the team with 7.2 rebounds per game, and he'll head to the charity stripe for 2.
I mean, if there's one key thing you want to highlight in Javaris Hill's game is his free throw shooting. I mean, the guy's got great size. He has great moves, great post player, great guy who can dunk it. But there you see, if there's one thing that he can work on in his game is his free throw shooting.
Haka Javaris, perhaps, as the Beacons' big man misses the first free throw of the evening, still 0-0. Awkward rotation. It's sideways coming out of his hand on the free throws, but he does make the second. It's 1-0 UMass Boston. Again, along with Gigi Braga, I'm John Scudris, driving in here and laying it up and off the rim and out goes Akam. Rebound taken by the Beaks. Pressing it is Cinelli, finding Sanchez. Sanchez thought about the layup, connecting far side. Mitchell for 3, and Charlie delivers for UMass Boston as it's 4-0 Beaks early on.
And you feel the energy here in the Clark Athletic Center. I mean, this place is going wild, and you saw Robert Nascimento there trying to take that charge, laying his body out on the line. Gotta love it from the big man.
Pull-up jumper from just inside the three-point line, off the mark by Azor. Defensive rebound for the Beacons, coming back the other way and getting blocked on a good defensive effort by number 21, Attican Akam, was Javaris Hill. Now here comes the Corsairs. Pull-up jumper just inside the three-point line again by Azor, and he misses again. But an offensive rebound as Leahy with a nice post move as he puts it up and in with the right hand.
Well, he had the mismatch there on that play going against Charlie Mitchell. He just took advantage of the height that he had and, put him up to the rim.
4-2 Beaks early. Sanchez gets the screen from Nascimento. Mitchell, nice hesitation move, uses the speed to get around. Ooh, he flans hard, no foul, and he's still down. And he's just a little dazed, he'll pop back up. Surprised that wasn't a foul. It does come out of bounds off of Dartmouth, so the Beacons at least keep possession.
I saw the referee there, very adamant about that call that he made. He made the call and immediately put both hands up to signal that it was a clean play. Teach their own on that part, but Charlie Mitchell is one of those players that he'll fall and he'll get right back up.
Nice dribble moves from Cinelli and a pullback jumper, and he gets the friendly roll. What a play from Dasan Cinelli, and the Beaks up 4 early on.
And they're gonna have to capitalize on these shots, as you see right there. Not having to rely so heavily on that post play, but also being able to make those mid-range jumpers could be a huge game changer here for the Beacons.
Surprised that wasn't a jump ball. Great play from Nascimento as he almost ripped it away. And almost a travel. Instead, Azor gets the pass from Leahy. Good look from Leahy. And Azor lays it up and in. His first bucket at 6-4.
That was great defense there by the Beacons for, the 15 or 20 seconds of that play. But those last 3 seconds, they gave him too much time and too much space. And against a Corsairs team like this, they're going to be able to pick out those points.
What a pass down low as Sanchez finds the senior, Rob Nascimento, and he gets his first points in perhaps his final game as a Beacon, certainly his final home game, as just like that, Beacon's back up 4. It's good feeling for Rob.
Yeah, I mean, great job there capitalizing on that play, but Alex Sanchez, early on in this game, being the facilitator that the Beacons need him to be.
Leahy misses on the layup. Solid defense down low by Hill. Beacons get the rebound. That was Nascimento. He's going to put together a nice little stat line early. Cinelli looking to get his second bucket. Drills it. Nothing but net from beyond the arc. It's 11-4 here on Senior Day.
And what a difference Dasan Cinelli makes for this team when he is playing and shooting with confidence.
And then following it up with an air ball was the Turkish native Atakan Akam. And we'll get our first substitution as Nascimento. What a performance. He got 4 minutes here to begin. This is Senior Day, and he brought it all as he will take his seat. And the Beacons are going to get some fresh legs. That's going to be Malik Lorquet, a fellow freshman from Sharon, Massachusetts.
Yeah, I mean, you're not losing much size there and replacing Nascimento for Lorquet. He's a great long player. You're going to see him finish in the post quite often.
Cinelli looking for Lorquet, fresh off the bench. Teed up one-on-one by Obiora and draws the foul as the freshman will head to the charity stripe. Second time the Beacons will go to the free throw line. They are 1 for 2.
Now we'll see here if Malik Lorquet can convert these free throws. I mean, and extend your lead early on in this first half. That'll be huge, a huge gain of momentum for the Beacons.
Timeout on the court as UMass Boston leads it by 7, 11-4 early on. We'll see what the rest of the half has in store when we come back. Beacons leading by 7 here on Senior Day, here on the Beacons Broadcasting Network.
Psychology is about understanding the individual and understanding the mind. The main reason why I want to combine psychology and business degrees is because I want to understand the business decisions that are made. I'm Nurçin Çelebi. I'm from Turkey originally. I'm a senior at the 5-year BA to MBA program at UMass Boston. I think in management, the biggest mistake you can make is to not listen. So I want to be able to step into a company and say, here's what you're doing now, and here's how you can improve it. I moved here when I was 16 for high school. Moving from Turkey, it was a rough journey for me because when you don't really speak the language that well, and when you don't really fit in the crowd, it's very easy to disappear. But I decided not to give up, and UMass helped me. I wanted to be able to improve myself. I wanted to be able to try new things. And I think UMass gave me a really good head start on that.
Out of the timeout, Lorquet will head to the charity stripe. Beacons have struggled, Gigi, from the free throw line this year, something that has hampered them on their way to this 500 record.
Yeah, I mean, and that's one thing, and it's their free throw shooting, and quite often sometimes their three-point shooting as well. And it's interesting from when you go to last season, and everyone talked about it, that the UMass Boston mantra was, their three-point shooting, and they had, amazing three-point shooters. And then you flip it over to this season, and you get a little bit more size on your team, and that just means that you got to change the the momentum of it. Instead of shooting threes, now you're gonna get your points in the paint.
Lorquet missed both. Chance for a three-pointer from Ashworth. Buckets for the Corsairs. And just like that, back down to 4. Jake Ashworth's first three of the night.
Yeah, well, when he's shooting 41.2% from beyond the arc, you can't leave a guy like that open.
And then traveling here is Sanchez. So the Beacons went into that last timeout full of momentum and confidence, but a good job on calling the timeout by Brian Baptiste in his 36th season at the helm of Dartmouth. I think there's a single person up here that's been around that long. In fact, I guarantee it. And yet here he is still bringing the heat here for the Corsairs. And the Beacons 7-point lead down to 4. Chance for a three-pointer from their best player, perhaps. Certainly last time they played, Obiora, but he clanks it out. 5 minutes into the first half. Cinelli finds Mitchell. Getting the screen, Mitchell. Zone defense transitioning into man-to-man now for the Corsairs. Cinelli driving, good look down low, and then hacked and fouled is Hill as he will head to the charity stripe for the second time.
That's a good look there by Dasan Cinelli. I know a lot of people are saying, if Tavares Hill is covered by 3 guys, why even give him the ball? But that's the reason right there is that there's going to be 6 arms up in the air, and he's bound to hit one of them. He's got a pretty high chance of getting the charity stripe.
Second foul here on Obiora. So that is huge, even though that free throw is unsuccessful as that rears its ugly head again. Obiora, of course, had a double-double of epic proportions, 25 and 17 the last time these two teams played, a 4-point Beacons loss. Of course, free throws, when talk about games that close, do matter. He makes the second, so 2 for 4 now is Hill. It's 12-7. And then coming out of bounds, they'll say off of the Beacons, is coming over defensively was the recent entrance Charles Mitchell. Charles and Charlie, a broadcaster's worst nightmare. Twin brothers, both 5'10", and both have the same exact name. As pump fake from the elbow, drive from Obiora. He's blocked down low. Lorquet, the freshman, answering against Obiora. And out of bounds off the Corsairs. Beacons will get it.
And that's something that the Beacons are going to rely heavily on today, is trying to stop the big men, making sure that they get that ball back. All they need is a couple of quick stops, especially here early on in this first half. Get a couple of quick stops, rack up your lead, and try to get this momentum going again. Down
low, Lorquet goes right into Obiora, trying to draw the foul, but at the very least, he hits the bucket, as that's the first for Lorquet. And the Beacons double up. The Corsairs 14-7. An aggressive double team, as almost turning it over was Azor. Sets up a 3-point chance for Ashworth, and what else does he do but drain threes, as Ashworth makes it a 4-point game.
That's how you got to be really careful. And you get in that double team right up there by half court, but you're leaving their best 3-point shooter and their best pure shooter on the team wide open.
And Cinelli answers. Deja vu on the other side of the court. They double team the point guard Mitchell, who finds the open man Cinelli, and Dasan makes them pay.
Hey, well, if they're going to do it on one side of the court, Dasan Cinelli is going to say, hey, why can't I do the same thing?
Obiora drills the elbow jumper. Back and forth they go. Team shooting exceptionally well early on. It's 17-12, 6.5 in. Mitchell finds Cinelli looking for his third three of the day, and he delivers. It's a Boston three-party for Dasan Cinelli as the Beaks are up 8 early on.
I mean, just give them the ball at this point. I mean, why waste your time? If the kid's hot, if you're hot, you're hot.
Off the backboard and out, and a big collision down low as trying to go for the rebound was Obiora over Cinelli. Cinelli slow coming back the other way. Mitchell trying to answer, and Charles clanks it off the iron and out. Rebound to Obiora. Akam goes far side, around the horn. Azor finds Obiora, back to Akam. Looking for a three, off the back iron and out. Rebound taken in, and then Hill. Big decision there. He's going to be turning it over. And hot potato right at the half-court line. And eventually we are going to, did we get a timeout? Or a jump ball? They're going to give him a timeout. Timeout, UMass Dartmouth. Boy, oh boy, that thing looked like it had oil on it with how much that was shooting around. 20-12, 7:25 in. GG, you have to like what you've seen by the Beacons, certainly offensively so far.
I mean, the hustle on that play by both sides, can't just highlight one team, but the hustle on the play by both sides is, I mean, you got to love it. And like you said, a little bit of a scrappy play. That's a good call there by UMass Dartmouth. Or was it Jason Harris that called the timeout? Not really sure. Yeah, it was UMass Dartmouth. So good job there calling that timeout. Just, trying to calm both teams down a little bit here. But with UMass Boston, like you said, you got to be happy with their performance. They're rebounding very well. They're moving the ball. They're pushing it. They're getting good open looks that they want. I think that's the biggest key here in the first 7 minutes of this half is that they're not forcing any of their shots. They're moving the ball really well. They're finding open men with a lot of space.
So out of the timeout, the Corsairs got the benefit of the timeout called on the manic rush to the floor. Here's Ashworth looking for his third three. And finally the odds play out, and that one comes off Obiora, but he kept it in somehow, and then getting fouled and tumbling down is Adam Seablum, a freshman from Lakeville, Massachusetts. And it will stay in possession of Dartmouth. Gigi, doesn't look like you like that call.
It's not that I didn't. It's a little frustrating here and there, but you can't blame Malik Lorquet there for that play. He was going for the ball, accidentally got his arm hooked on a player there. It's accidental contact, but obviously the referees are going to call it.
Ashworth unable to hit as he switched from right to left, hands in the air on the layup. That's not his game. 8-point Beacons lead. Hill, nice feed, Lorquet. Beautiful play from both Hill and Lorquet. Great reception of the feed with one arm tied up by the defender and able to drill it. The defender on that one was Jones. Great play.
I mean, Malik Lorquet, just the amount of power that he has down in the post of making room for himself. And you saw there on that play, he gave Marquise Jones no room to defend him whatsoever. Created a space. Tavares Hill with a great pass in there. Get those 2 points. And I think that comes from them both being big men and knowing, where they like passes to be.
Foul on Charlie Mitchell there. It was, I believe, before the shot. We do have a timeout. An 11:52 to go here in the first half of play. So we'll go to a break. When we come back, we'll continue here in the first half of play. UMass Boston looking for a big upset. They're up by 10 here on Senior Day, right here on the Beacons Broadcasting Network.
UMass is very public service focused, and it piqued my interest, and I started doing more research on it. I'm very focused on what can I do to make the world around me a better place. My name is Lydia Grasso. I'm a junior at UMass Boston studying sociology and minoring in human rights. Because I won the Chancellor Scholarship at UMass, it allowed me to go to Cambodia. I was working at the Sihanouk Hospital Center of Hope. I was in the place of something horrible that had happened. I could either go home and kind of forget about that experience and kind of block it out, or I could do something so that things like that never happened again. UMass provides me with opportunities that I wouldn't get anywhere else and gives me a global perspective.
Out of the media timeout, along with Gigi Bragg, I'm John Skudras. Inbounds here, coming from Azor as he connects eventually with Jones, as Jones with the left arm puts it up. Good defense down low by Hill. Rebound by Lorquet, slaps it over to Mitchell, and then Charles goes to Charlie, and the Beacons will move forward. Sanchez, nifty move, almost sent Ashworth to his backside. And now here is Charlie Mitchell, one-on-one with Seablum. Charles finds Lorquet, somehow stays in bounds and draws the foul on Jones, and he'll head to the charity stripe for 2 more as he missed his first couple. He's looking for retribution.
And I love the aggressiveness here by Malik Lorquet. You know, he's playing, might say freshman, but this late into the season, you know, coaches tell you all the time, you know, you might have to label as a freshman, you can't play as a first-year player anymore. And that's exactly what he's doing in this game. You know, he's taking control into his own hands. He's creating room down in the paint, and he's being a big man. He's being aggressive. He's going to the hoop, and he's going to realize that, you know, he's either going to get a free shot or they're going to foul him at some point.
He misses as it's still 22-12. Struggling from the charity stripe has been the MO for the Beaks, and why would it change here on Senior Day? But a great defensive effort by Lorquet. Jones took it back, and then tying him up is Javaris Hill, and we'll get a jump ball, and possession will go to UMass Boston. What an effort by the Beacons defense, yet again led by Lorquet.
Yeah, I mean, Beacons are known for their defense. You know, they're a very big defensive-oriented team, especially in the guards. I mean, you see the Mitchell brothers. You throw Alex Sanchez in there, their front court is, you know, amazing. And then when you add guys like Lorquet and Hill who aren't afraid to, you know, stick an arm out and get those balls and get those plays, I mean, it creates for great defense.
Lorquet now, they're running the offense through him, finds Mitchell. Had to stretch out that 5'10 frame and then traveled as he striked down the baseline as he was looking for his brother Charles. And another turnover here as the Beacons hand it back.
Might have tried to get away with a little bit of a Beasley play there. I don't know if you saw that on NBA the other day.
Oh, yes, I did. That was something else, as there's a foul here on UMass Boston. So heading to the charity stripe for the first time here will be Azor. And the NBA, notoriously bad reffing, and it's crept its head this week. Not only that play, but a lot of calls that were considered controversial in the Celtics-Sixers game, as well as in the Celtics battle against the Lakers prior.
Go C's, baby, right? Well, Boston, I know you're from Philly. I know you and
I know what you're doing.
You and Seth love your Philadelphia teams, but hey, Boston finds a way to come out on top.
Yeah, well, as Pedro Martinez said about the Yankees, the Celtics are indeed our daddy, as the Beacons will keep possession. It comes out of bounds. And the Beacons will try to do what the 76ers couldn't, which is pull off the victory here against a team that they've lost frequently to lately, as there's Cinelli putting it up and in. A quick pull-up jumper from about 8 feet away, and that's a 10-point game yet again. The Beacons are doing a good job finding the open man down low here over the last couple of possessions.
And why not? I don't think Cinelli's missed at all today. I'm pretty sure he's 5 for 5 from the field and 3 for 3 from distance. So why not feed number 4?
Certainly, as Mitchell goes tumbling down. He's going to add insult to injury because he's going to get called for the foul there as he went down hard, but he's okay. Right now it's Cinelli, Hill, Charles Mitchell, Charlie Mitchell, and Sanchez on the court for the Beaks. Azor gets the inbounds from Obiora. They're out there along with Ashworth, Leahy, and Seablum. Azor watches as Obiora shoots a 3. That one rims out. Rebound to Sanchez. Charlie Mitchell. Such nifty moves as his handle's unrivaled on the Beacons team, connecting with Cinelli. Good hands by Cinelli as he finds Hill. Good eyes as well, and a timeout UMass Dartmouth as the Beacons continue to extend the lead. It's 26-14 UMass Boston, and there is Cinelli not only getting the job done with his shooting stroke, but with his playmaking ability as well.
That was great ball movement by the Beacons. Starts with Charlie Mitchell, getting a couple of nifty dribbles in there, getting the defense on their heels, and then all it takes is 2 quick passes and you bypass 5 players on the Dartmouth team. Dasan Cinelli doing a great job, and when you're a guy like this who hasn't missed all day, it's no doubt that the defense is going to come and crowd you. Why not? The guy hasn't missed a shot all day. You're going to play defense on him. That creates so much open space for Javaris Hill. Got to credit Dasan Cinelli not being selfish on that play and trying to go for the shot himself, finding the open Javaris Hill, and then you extend your lead to 12 points. This is huge for the Beacons. Their big thing right now is you got to play a strong 10 minutes and take this into halftime.
Same lineup will stay out there for Jason Harris's UMass Boston squad. Folks, a reminder to keep up to date with all your UMass Boston Beacons action on our social media avenues. whether it be Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, or Instagram. You can reach the Beacons all year long, 24/7 at UMass Beacons or at beaconsathletics.com. As almost tumbling down on the inbounds was Azor, covered up by Sanchez halfway through the first half of play, 26-14 UMass Boston. That pass off the hands almost to backcourt as it trickled away from Akam. Akam pulls up. Pull-up jumper from Marquise Jones. Nothing there. Rebound. Jones misses again. Akam thinks he got fouled. He did not. Off of Jones, and the Beacons get possession. And the Corsairs don't like the calls, but the Beacons are the beneficiaries. Up by 12. They force the turnover.
You hear every single coach saying, play until you hear the whistle, and that's exactly what the Beacons did. They didn't, even if he did get fouled on that play, we don't have as best of a view as they do down there. But again, play until they blow the whistle, and they did it on that play. Got to credit that team.
What a play from Hill. He's going to travel eventually because it was just a manic fight for the ball. Somehow he was able to rip it away from a couple of Corsairs down low. Akam as well as Sieblum in the area. Here is Adam Sieblum. Still 12-point game. So we are past the halfway point of the first half. Azor, nice dribble drive as he pulls back. Instead hands it off. Quick pull up way off the mark from Harry Alexander. And the defensive board for Charles Mitchell. Charlie gets it from his brother. Thank goodness Charlie wears the hair like that, or it'd be very difficult to tell them apart besides the numbers. Cinelli, nice drive, gets tied up. And they're going to say all ball, jump ball, and it goes to the Corsairs. What a play from number 10, Marcus Azor, the freshman from Brockton.
And the Beacons going a little bit smaller here with Tavares Hill being their center in this role. You don't have Rob Nascimento or Malik Lorquet here, so their guards really have to step up, as you saw there, Charles Mitchell getting those rebounds.
And then almost forcing a turnover, but then he throws it right to Akam. Patrick Gavin enters, a sophomore at 6'4" from Beverly, number 33 for the Corsairs. Drive from Akam, and an offensive foul drawn by UMass Boston, as that's Mitchell taking the big blow from the much bigger Akam, and the Turkish native can't get any calls here in the first half. Turnover forced by Mitchell.
Man, that's a great momentum there by the Beacons. You see Mark Monroe checking into the game, getting a little bit more size here, but Mitchell just doing a great job, and you saw two referees put their arms up. At that point, you questioned it a little bit. One's on the baseline, one's on the sideline. Which one's going to make the call? Luckily, they get the offensive call, which I think they're right about. He completely got taken down. He wasn't in the restricted zone. That's a great play there by Charles Mitchell.
I agree completely, and then a foul on the inbounds moments after by Sieblum, his first. Here's Charlie for three, drills it. Charlie Mitchell, his first three of the day. The Beacons have been stroking it from long range, and they are now gotten their biggest lead of the day. It's 29-14, and Gigi, we still have 8.5 minutes left in the first half.
Man, I'm loving the basketball that we're getting here today from the Beacons.
Sieblum tries to answer, he cannot. Offensive board, Azor, pull up baseline jumper, rims out. Nothing's falling. Now a 3-on-0 for UMass Boston, and Hill will slam it home! Dunk City in Boston, Massachusetts. A day before Valentine's Day, and they are loving it here in UMass Boston as a huge rejection down low by Mark Monroe.
Man, those at home can't see me right now, but I am jumping like crazy, just like I'm pretty sure every single person in this Clark Athletic Center gym is doing. The sequence that the Beacons are putting together right now is incredible. This is fun basketball to watch. I mean, Tavares Hill, just as soon as he got in free space, you knew it was coming. He's one of these guys, he loves to dunk the ball. Pretty sure it's been like 10 or 12 games that we haven't seen a dunk from Tavares Hill. When they opened up the season, it was him, Lorquet, Julius Goins got into the mix. They're using their size, their advantage, and this is something that UMass Boston fans haven't seen in a while, is all these dunks happening at home. And then you get a team like this, it's just a huge momentum shift for the Beacons.
We have a media timeout on the court with 7:37 to go. We'll take a look at a replay of that slam dunks. The cheerleaders are entertaining the fans, and the coaches are discussing things with their players. Patrick Gavin hit a three after the dunk, and the Beacons turned it over, so Corsairs will have the ball. When we reconvene, still up 14. And now we'll take a look at that replay. It was a 3-on-0, and Hill could have delivered it to one of his teammates, but smartly decided, you know what? I got the size. I'm going to take advantage of it. And that is a beauty. Hangs on the rim. We're looking at it on the preview.
And we'll get it to you in a quick second here. Just, again, we had trouble with our graphics at the beginning of the game, having a little bit of trouble here with the replay, but we'll get that play to you as soon as we
Here
can.
we go.
Here it is.
Gigi just 3-0. I mean, you're never going to get anything easier than that, but he makes it look beautiful nonetheless. And, of course, we cut off right
Cut it off a
before.
little too early.
We will get it to you, certainly at halftime, if not beforehand, at the next media timeout. 7:25 to go out of the media timeout. It's a 14-point UMass Boston lead. Driving with the right hand, Harry Alexander, rejected by Monroe, and he steps out of bounds, and a turnover forced by UMass Boston as Monroe delivering here. I didn't see him when he came in a couple of possessions ago, but he has done a solid job defensively, the 6'6" junior from Quincy.
Well, what a start for his day. He read the play immediately after Hill's dunk. He comes back on the other side, gets a huge block, great rejection to keep the swing going for the Beacons.
Charlie Mitchell double team. They're double teaming the man with the ball up top. Beautiful passing, Monroe rejected, and a foul is called down low as Monroe was hacked by Sean Leahy, the freshman from Hanson, Massachusetts. And so Monroe will head to the charity stripe. That's the second on Leahy here in the first half. What passing by UMass Boston here in the first half of play.
And that's exactly what the Beacons want to do. You know, you're passing the ball really quickly, and just like that, you have Orbiora has 2 fouls. Leahy's already got 2 fouls. And the only thing the Beacons have to do to capitalize on this is make your free throws. Make it hurt a little bit more.
They've struggled here to do so. Now, Hill has made a couple of free throws, but Lorquet 0 for 4, and now Monroe 0 for 2.
Shooting 22% from the free throw line. Let's just put it that way. They've had about 10 chances.
Azor almost lost the handle, able to get it out to Harry Alexander. Despite that, the Beacons still have 14. I mean, if they make even half of those, it could be a 20-point game. Akam, almost traveled there. He had nowhere to go with it. Now finds Azor. Beacon's defense tonight has been like Velcro as Azor is rejected down low by Hill, who's putting on a show. As that one is off front iron and out. Another try. Siebel looking for help. Can't find it. Connecting. Around the horn they go. Alexander connecting with... We're looking to connect down low with Akam. Now he does. Got the size advantage, and he's going to be fouled. I think it's going to be it's going to be Cinelli who's going to be the guilty party. Yes, it will be, as he hit him in the head. And so they are going to inbounds underneath as Obiori will come back in. He will spell Alexander. That's just the first on Cinelli, so you'll take it. Just 5 fouls for UMass Boston here in the first half of play. Once they get to 7, it'll be 1-1. Is driving in and a beautiful soft touch. Laying that one up in is Ashworth, showing he can do more than just shoot threes.
Well, when the Beacons bigs have shown that they're ready to block anything in the paint, you got to resort to that little floater there. You don't want to draw any contact with big guys, especially in Monroe and Hill.
Mitchell, nice handoff to Monroe, but it goes right through his hands. Monroe, more defensive specialist than an offensive performer, and that is another turnover for the Beacons. And it looks like we're going to see Malik Lorquet check back in shortly.
Just a little bit of miscommunication there. I don't even think that Mark Monroe was expecting that ball at all. Charlie put a little bit too much mustard on that pass as well, and just a little miscommunication there. I think they were really close to one another. Would have liked to see Charlie take that to the hoop as well.
Azor connecting there with Ashworth. Ashworth finding Leahy. D'd up smartly. He's got such a size advantage with the Beacons' bigs, prevent him from driving. Great fadeaway attempt from Ashworth. Rims out. Rebound taken by Monroe. Hands it off to Mitchell. Charlie thought he was fouled a little bit there. Now he's going to get tied up. Ooh, can he keep it away enough? Or may travel. They're going to say a jump ball, and the Beacons will keep it with 5:20 to go. And Lorquet will check in, as will Sanchez for UMass Boston.
Marcus Azor there. Getting really lucky that they didn't get that call. I thought I saw a little swat from the back, but on the same side, Arinze Obiora had the same exact play there. Getting called up, could have gotten there, and that's what Charlie Mitchell's speed does with him. You know, he's driving by players, and he's using his speed to his advantage, trying to get those fouls drawn on him for that reach.
31-19, Beacons up 12. Sanchez looking to balloon it to 15, rims out. Lorquet rising up, but he's outnumbered. Poked away by Akam, and eventually taken in by Ashworth. Exactly 5 minutes to go. Ashworth far side. Azor looking for 3 for himself off front iron. Rebound Crickles to the far side in front of the bench for Sanchez. Beacons trying to move quickly. Sanchez for Cinelli. Dasan looking for the pick. Instead, a simple screen trying to separate him from Leahy. Round horn it comes for Charlie Mitchell. Got it swiped away by Obiori. As Obiora is up on Lorquet. What a feed from Mitchell for Lorquet. He could not make it, and Lorquet's second chance opportunity is true as Malik Lorquet continues to apply pressure down low on these Corsairs.
Really happy he got that second chance look there, because if he missed that first shot, man, that would have been aggravating if you're a Beacons fan. He had so much room, so much space. There wasn't a guy in the paint there with him.
This time Leahy uses his size to get the bucket down low. A right-handed layup from the left side with Lorquet on the far side on Obiora. Here's Mitchell driving, trying to go through, and an offensive foul on Mitchell. As drawing it is Leahy. A good sequence for Sean. And with the Beacons up 12, another turnover and a substitution, and, in fact, a timeout. So UMass Boston still with that double-digit lead with just 3:57 to go. First half action. It's 33-21 Beacons. We'll be back right here on the Beacons Broadcasting Network. Welcome back to the Beacons Broadcasting Network. Beacons up by 12. Along with Gigi Braga, I'm John Skudras. A reminder to keep in touch with all your Beacons athletics action at UMass Beacons on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, as well as YouTube. And, of course, at beaconsathletics.com, where they have all your live stats, box scores, recaps. Of course, the Beacons Broadcasting Network as well as great behind the Beacons footage, all available on YouTube and at beaconsathletics.com. Beacons up 12 out of the timeout. Less than 4 minutes to go. Next timeout will get you a look ahead at what the Beacons have left. Not much. Obviously, we didn't get a chance to do that in the pregame with our technical difficulties, as here's Obiora connecting with the recent entrance, Dalen Sanders-Dyer, a freshman. They turn it over. Can Lorquet deliver again, and a quick foul, and that is as clear as it gets. That's a clear path foul. We'll see what the call is. They will say, no, they're just going to stay on the court, I think, 2 shots. But that was a foul on Ashworth as he dragged Lorquet and prevented him from getting the dunk. Bit selfish, wanted to see that.
And we apologize here, folks, for having a great deal of technical difficulties. Really trying to figure our stuff out right now, but I guess technology just doesn't like us here today.
That's fine, as long as the audio works. As Lorquet's first free throw attempt, back iron and out. The struggles continue for Malik from the free throw line. Much like most bigs, not his area of expertise. He is that tiny dot in the middle of your screen. We're stuck on one camera just due to technical issues, and the good news is you can hear me and Gigi, so we can illustrate it as if we're on the radio. As the rebound off the second free throw that clanked out off back iron is taken in by Leahy. Leahy watches as Azor finds Akem. Akem, Beacons playing man-to-man defense, finds Ashworth top of the three-point line. Leahy one-on-one with Cinelli. Hands it off Obiora. Dribbles behind the back, now pulls back to the three-point line. Hands it off Leahy, trying to drive through the D, and off back iron. The rebound is put back in, and that is Arinze Obiora, who had over 20 points the last time these two teams played, and he gets the putback with his right hand. Beautiful play.
A man with 2 fouls. I mean, he's by any means not afraid to put that ball on the rim, and then you see there Dasan Cinelli being a little careless with the ball there, but look at what the Corsairs have done. They turned a 15, 16-point deficit into a 10-point deficit. So they shortened it. And if you keep doing this, they're just going to take advantage of all the opportunities you give them.
And Sanchez takes it right back after the turnover by Cinelli. Sanchez, it rims out. The second chance is true as Dasan answers back. On the last possession, Cinelli dribbled it off his foot out of bounds. And then the turnover forced by the aggressive Sanchez. And Alex watches as Cinelli finishes it off. What a first half offensively for Dasan Cinelli.
Beacons got to finish these next 2 minutes and 30 seconds strong defensively. If you're the Corsairs, you're looking for a couple of baskets. You don't necessarily need to cut it down to 2 or 3 points. You got to get within single digits.
With possession, Ashworth, he can shoot. Charles Mitchell on him, almost got it swiped away by Sanchez. Far side, Leahy trying for three, off the iron. Rebound put right back up and in by Akem as he just tapped it back with the right hand. Good play, and it's back to a 10-point game.
Well, 3 guys for the Corsairs in the paint against the Beacons, 1 or 2. Yeah. So you're giving them the advantage. You know that they have the height advantage on you, even when you have Hill and Lorquet out there on the court.
Oh, trying the crossover. Sanchez stripped by Azor, coming in and almost blocked, but he's able to get it off the backboard and in for the lay-in, and Jason Harris has seen enough. 108 seconds to go in the first half of play. What was a 16-point lead down to 8 as UMass Boston's big lead has trickled down to a slight margin. 35-27. We're going to take a break. When we come back, out of the timeout, Beacons with possession. Mitchell, far side, Sanchez for three. Nothing but air as he airballs that one. 35-27 Beacons. Sorry about the technical difficulty. Should have it ironed out by halftime. Beacons up by 8. Right now they're having difficulties maintaining their large lead, and a foul on Cinelli as he takes a hack there of Akam. And Atakan will head to the line for 2 shots. It's the second foul on Cinelli here in the first half of play.
On the bright side, the camera that is working happens to be the one that Akam's shooting on. No, we're going to look at positives here.
Yeah, why not? You know, you always got to look at the sunny side of life, Cheech, and I know you do for sure.
Hey, I like my eggs sunny side up, so why not look at things through the sunny side of life, right?
Oh, my goodness. You have the talent for color commentary. I'm not going to lie. As that one clanked out by Atakan Akim, who's got to have one of my favorite names of the year, broadcasting. Some good hockey names as well. The Swedes always get me, as there's a rebound on the defensive side there by Hill, and then he almost got stripped from behind by Seablum. 75 seconds left. What a hesitation move. Beautiful dribble drive, handoff, and what a play! Oh, putting it in, Malik Lorquet, as he looked like he was hacked, didn't get the call, and switched hands in midair and still got the friendly roll.
That might have been one of the best plays that the Beacons have put together as a cohesive unit. Just Javaris Hill, the quick little hesitation move, getting everyone on their heels, handing it off to Lorquet. Great finish there. And I mean, you could hear the thud on the ground. I don't know how he wasn't hacked there on that play and didn't get a chance for a 3-point opportunity.
Nice dribbling and handles there by Akam, but he can't finish. Off front iron. Beacons get the defensive board. Lorquet finds Hill. He wants to take it all the way in and gets the bucket and the foul as he will head to the charity stripe. As in the restricted area, Ashworth, he can't believe he didn't get the call, but it's positioning on the court that matters. A 12-point lead in the Beacons, looking to make it 13.
And Brian Baptiste, he's shaking his head there, and it's kind of hard to see if he's shaking it at the refs or at his own player. You saw Javaris Hill slow down there on that play. You knew exactly where he was going. He showed you that he can dunk the ball. You know that he likes to go to the rim, trying to get himself some points. And I think that what caught Ashworth there on that play was that he had, I believe it was Alex Sanchez on the other side, so he didn't know if he was going to pass it or not. Caught him on his heels.
Another missed free throw as Hill can't finish the 3-point play. 35 seconds to go. 25 on the shot clock from the parking lot, off the mark by Ashworth. Unable to get it. Mitchell somehow saves it. Monroe swats at it, gets it to Hill. What an effort from Charlie Mitchell, who's all over the court. He is a blower, and then Charles Mitchell, his brother, gets tripped, and he will head to the charity stripe with 22.4 to go.
And that's 3. Sorry to cut you off there, but they're putting that as 3 fouls on Obiora, I believe.
As Mitchell pops back up, and we'll head to the free throw line. You are right. That is the 3rd foul on Arinze Obiora. And as we mentioned, 17 points per game, 10.1 rebounds per game. He dominated last time these two teams played. He has been invisible except for when he shows up in the foul department.
I mean, this is a huge, huge pickup for the Beacons. You get a guy like him, you see a player checking in for him right now. That's Harry Alexander. And you taking Obiora out of the picture right now is just increasing your chances of racking up more points. You got a 13-point lead right now. There's 22 seconds left. You're going into halftime. comfortable. We're not going to say that, it's not a 20-point lead or anything. You can't start playing too loosely, but you're going in comfortable. You can take a couple more risks here or there. And having Obiora, that puts a lot of pressure on the Corsairs because now he's not going to be able to play as tough defense as he wants.
1 of 2 from the line for Mitchell, one of the better free throw shooters on a team that can't shoot free throws. If they made those free throws, they would be up over 20. Right now it's a 13-point game, shot clock unplugged. 11 seconds to go. Ashworth connecting, Seablum, rejected by Hill, and the Beacons with 5 seconds to go. He didn't know how much time he had. He almost hit it, and then Mitchell's rejected, and the time will run out. The Beacons didn't know how much time was left. Hill could have probably ran up and dunked the ball, and when he sees that on the recap later tonight, he is going to regret it. But you know what? If the Beacons win, he won't care. Right now they're up 13. We're going to go to a break. It's 40-27 UMass Boston right here on the Beacons Broadcasting Network. Courtside with Coach Jason Harris. Coach, first half you got a 13-point lead. Obviously some things you want to correct, but what did you see out of your boys? What did you like, and what do you guys have to improve in the second half?
I just think we're playing with a sense of urgency and a desperation. All right, so we're desperate right now. We need to win to get in, and we're just playing desperate.
Absolutely. Malik Lorquet doing a good job along with Hill down low. They did a fantastic job on Obiora. He's not done much at all. Now he's in foul trouble. That's a big benefit for you guys, right?
Yeah, but if you saw the first game, he had 4 points at halftime. He ended up with 27 and 15. He's a first-team all-league player for a reason. You're not going to get a second half like that, so we got to make some adjustments and get ready for him.
Well, good luck, Coach. Go make those adjustments.
Appreciate it.
Coach Jason Harris at halftime, his team with a big lead, as he said, playing for their postseason lives. They need to win at least one of these last 2 games in order to get into the LEC tournament. If they lose out, there's a good chance they won't be in there. We'll see what bears fruition the rest of the way. For now, let's go to a break. When we come back, take a look back at the highlights of the first 20 minutes. Welcome back to the Beacons Broadcasting Network. John Skudris here. Halftime, 40-27. UMass Boston leading. Apologies for the technical difficulties this evening. We are clearing that up as we speak, and we will have, hopefully, everything ready to rock and roll and the status quo back up and running very shortly. Right now, the score 40-27 at halftime. UMass Boston has had quite a first 20 minutes, an eventful one to say the least, as the Beaks leading by 13. They're led in scoring by Dasan Cinelli with 15. He's 6 for 6 from the field and 3 for 3 from beyond the arc. Second on the team, a tie between Javaris Hill with 8 points and Malik Lorquet also with 8. So that's a nice combination. GG, as you welcome me back in here, or as we welcome you back in, of the backcourt with Cinelli and the front court as well with that duo of Hill and Lorquet.
I mean, they've played a great, well-rounded game. You see Coach Harris said it at halftime in the interview that they're playing with a sense of urgency, and I think that he nailed it right on the head. That's exactly what this Beacons team has been doing here tonight, and we haven't seen that very often from them, especially at home throughout this season. Usually they're a little slow in the first half, and then they come and pick it up in the second half and give us a little bit of more of an entertaining show. But today, for some reason, whether it's senior day, whether it's the fact that they need to win a game to get into the tournament, that they're playing with a sense of why not play a full 40 minutes. And I know that we didn't get to take a look at the keys to the game early on, but that was one of the keys, is you got to play a full and complete 40 minutes, and that's exactly what they're doing. You see them on the defensive end, they're getting great stops. They're blocking the ball, they're playing good defense, a couple of breaks here or there, but that's going to happen. It's basketball. And then on the offensive end, they're finding a way to convert, their steals and their good defense and turning them into full, well-rounded possessions. And I think as Coach Harris, you can't ask for more from your team except to play another full 20 minutes in this half and don't let the Corsairs find any little cracks to slip in.
Obiora, meanwhile, for UMass Dartmouth, has just 4 points on 2 of 5 shooting. Now, Coach Harris said when I interviewed him at halftime that he only had 6 points in the first half. The last time they played, he finished with 25 as part of a double-doubles. We'll take a look at the halftime team stats on your screen. Looked very similar to the women's game, where the women's Beacons team, you see that on your screen, struggled tremendously in the first half. They were down 11, and then they picked it up in the second half, only lost by 1, Gigi. So as you said, playing a full 40 minutes, absolutely critical to the success of the Beacons. We take a look at the individual statistics here at halftime. And Dasan Cinelli, as I mentioned, 6 for 6 from the field, 3 for 3 from the on-the-arc, leads the team with 15 points. Javaris Hill filling up the stat sheet, 8 points, 3 blocks, 4 rebounds. He's also got 3 assists and a steal. My goodness, Draymond Green has become Javaris Hill here today. Meanwhile, for Dartmouth, you see there, Gavin and Azor leading the way in points. Ashworth as well with 5 points. And Attic and Atcam filling up the stat sheet for them, 7 boards, 4 assists. But when you look at this, Javaris Hill, he has been outstanding.
Yeah, I mean, if he keeps playing like this, he's easily on his way to a double-double, and at this point could very well be a triple-double if he keeps up these blocking numbers. He's already got 3. He's out blocking their entire team, a man himself. He's playing great, and like we mentioned before, he's a freshman who's not playing like a freshman, and we saw that especially in the Castleton game. He went off for a career high, I believe it was 32 points, something of that caliber, but he's a guy that has that potential. And I think that a lot of these Beacons freshmen have that potential to create these big opportunities and these big chances. A thing that I would like to see, as we saw in the halftime stats, you're shooting 20% from the free throw line. If UMass Dartmouth is giving you all of these opportunities continuously, they're putting you in the line. They don't want to give you the free baskets because guess what? They know that you're not that good of a free throw shooting team. So you can't blame the Corsairs for saying, why am I going to give you 2 easy points here when you have a very good chance of going 0 for 2 from the free throw line. You got to convert on the charity stripe. It's free money.
Gigi, they're 3 for 15 for 20%, as you said, 2 for 4 for Dartmouth. An 11 free throw shot difference, yet the Beacons have only 1 more successful free throw, and yet they're up 13. If they could just swing that, it will be at least a 20-point game. Bench points very even, 9-6 in favor of the Beacons. Points in the paint, 18-12 in favor of the Beacons. Second chance points, though, 11-6 in favor of the Corsairs. Let's take a look at the highlights from the first half of play. Why not?
We'll finally get a chance to see Javaris Hill's dunk, right?
Absolutely. I believe we have the audio of that as well, so we'll just cue that up here, put it up here, and we'll be back right here on the Beacons Broadcasting Network. It is Cinelli finding Sanchez. Sanchez thought about the layup, connecting far side. Mitchell for 3, and Charlie delivers. Jumper just inside the 3-point line again by Azor, and he misses again. But an offensive rebound as Leahy with a nice post move as he puts it up and in with the right.
Mitchell's one of those players that he'll fall and he'll get right back up.
Nice dribble moves from Cinelli and a pullback jumper, and he gets the friendly roll.
That play. Those last 3 seconds, they gave him too much time and too much space, and against a Corsairs team like this, they're going to be able to pick out those points.
What a pass down low as Sankins get the rebound. That was Nascimento. He's going to put together a nice little stat line early. Cinelli looking to get his second bucket, drills it early on at 17-12, 6.5 in. Mitchell finds Cinelli looking for his third 3 of the day, and he delivers. 8-point Beacons lead. Hill. Nice feed, Lorquet. Beautiful play from both Hill and Lorquet. Such nifty moves as his handle's unrivaled on the Beacons team, connecting with Cinelli. Good hand by Cinelli as he finds Hill. Good eyes as well, and a timeout UMass Dartmouth. I agree completely, and then a foul on the inbounds moments after by Seablum is first. Here's Charlie for 3, drills it. Charlie, offensive board, Azor, pull up baseline jumper, rims out. Nothing's falling. Now a 3-on-0 for UMass Boston, and Hill will slam it home. Azor Beacon's defense tonight has been like Velcro as Azor is rejected down low by Hill. We're looking to connect down low with Akam. Now he does. Got the size advantage, and he's going to be fouled. I think it's going to be it's going to be Cinelli who's going to be the guilty party. Yes, it will be, as he hit him in the head. And so they are going to inbounds underneath as Obiori will come back in. He will spell Alexander. That's just about set for the second half of play here on the Beacons Broadcasting Network. John Scooters with G.G. Braga. Let's take a look around Beaconville before we get set for the opening inbounds of the second half. And, of course, earlier today, the women's team trailed by 11 going into the second half of play. They narrowed it down. They only lost by 1, 60-59. In fact, had a chance to win it on a last chance opportunity that went for naught. And, of course, on Saturday, the men's hockey team hosting Southern Maine as the Huskies will invade Beaconville for the first round of the New England Hockey Conference playoffs. That's at 7 p.m. right here on the Beacons Broadcasting Network.
That's going to be a great game. I'm excited for that hockey game, let me tell you. Didn't get the opportunity to watch their senior night.
You're always excited. I don't know that there's ever been a moment, Gigi Braga, when you weren't excited.
Fair point. Hey, not a bad thing to have said about you, right?
It's true. It's better than the opposite. Better than being Eeyore. Oh, well. We are back here to start the second half. There's my first ever Eeyore impression on the air, folks. My first and last.
Love a good reference there.
The inbounds will come from Akam to Azor, and we are underway in the second half. 20 more minutes. The Beacons trying to get the big victory here to buoy their playoff chances. Nice play by Leahy, and can't finish off the backboard. And then, getting hit and tumbling down, and they're going to say out of bounds just off Sanchez. Not sure how, unless they're saying it collided with Lorquet, but he is hurt. He's back up. But they're just going to say it was out of bounds off Sanchez, no foul. Charles Mitchell will check in.
You see Cinelli giving a little limp there on that right ankle, and I believe that was it Ashworth that fell right on him. So keep an eye on that.
As the Beacons get possession. Excuse me, Cinelli, you are correct, not Sanchez. 4 not 1, as we are going to see the Beacons' first offensive possession led by Mitchell. Both Charlie and Charles are out there. Charlie finds Charles. Hill, Sanchez, and Lorquet out there as we're going to get a whistle and a foul. So the referee will go over and discuss it with the scorer's table. Beacons up by 13, though this lead was as many as 16. They played a little bit sloppy in the final few minutes of that half.
Well, coming out of halftime, this could go one of two ways for both the Beacons and the Corsairs. Your UMass Dartmouth come off to a little bit of a slow start, some miscommunication, a bunch of your shots aren't falling. You're getting decent looks. You're just not converting on those opportunities. You take a halftime break, you get 15 minutes, try to get your cool together, and come out, guns blazing. You have nothing to lose at this point.
As Lorquet tips it in off the miss from Charlie Mitchell. Right you are. Right now, the Corsairs know they're in the playoffs. They could still, by winning out and getting some help, get the number 1 seed. But a loss here pretty much ends any hopes of that and hosting that conference tournament. So they know they have to win. This is not an exhibition for them as it's stripped away by Mitchell and taken in by Lorquet. Charlie barking out the offensive plays he's getting from Coach Harris, who echoed those sympathies that this game is certainly not over. After 20 minutes, 15-point lead. Hill, beautiful wraparound, almost got the roll. Good effort.
Didn't get the friendly bounce there from the rim or the backboard at any point. You saw him there try to link over. His arm just doesn't really rotate that way.
As Sanchez almost got it away from Azor. Azor recovers, regathers, and drives in and lays it in with the right hand.
Didn't see many takes from the Corsairs in the first half, and part to that was because Lorquet and Hill did such a great job defensively in getting all those blocks. But you're seeing that a lot more here from them in the first 2 minutes of the game, and I think that it's crucial. Brian Baptiste telling his team, don't be afraid to take it to the hoop. Try to take a play out of the Beacons playbook. Going to the rim, if you go up strong, they're either going to foul you or you have a very good chance of getting 2 points.
Beacons throw it away as Hill throws it out of bounds for a turnover here. It's down to 13. which is exactly where it was 2 minutes ago when the half began. Sanchez on Azor, finds Ackham. Seablum back to Ackham. Hands it off to Azor. Double teamed, Ackham, pump faked. Driving down into the key, fadeaway jumper, tough shot, off front iron and out. That would have been a beautiful shot from the elbow as Sanchez gets the feed from Mitchell. And then gets it swiped away, but right to Malik Lorquet. Lorquet double team, goes right through them and gets the roll. Malik Lorquet down low has been a wrecking ball this evening.
You love to see that from the freshman. Bunch of games this season. See him start. He's done a much better job on the defensive end of the ball rather than the offensive throughout the season, so you love to see him getting his points and making the most out of his minutes.
Leahy had the open shot down low moments ago, decided not to take it. Now he takes the three, and that's more of his game as Sean Leahy drills the three-pointer, and the freshman from Hanson, Massachusetts, cuts it back down to 12. Mitchell, Sanchez, Hill, Lorquet, and Charles Mitchell. This is Charlie. As Charles and Charlie playing pitch and catch. Nice bounce pass attempt, but off the mark, intercepted by Seablum, and then he tries to throw it down deep for Azor. It's intercepted. What a give and go right to Sanchez. He couldn't finish. What a pass from Charlie Mitchell, as he seems to have the eyesight that we have not seen in a long time, as that is going to be a foul on UMass Boston. And it's going to be a grab, and the inbounds will come from the side, and that's going to be a foul on Sanchez, just his first. What a play by Charlie Mitchell. But Sanchez, he was, 5'10", 5'10", probably wouldn't have had issues with that.
I mean, it's a great play, just the court vision that you get there from Charles Mitchell to first of all, the hustle to come back. You give up the ball, you come back, you play great defense, and then literally just doing a football throw. I mean, they did play football in high school and just quarterbacking it right to his brother. Unfortunately, didn't get the two-point conversion. As you see the Corsairs there make them pay there.
All of a sudden, Azor heating up here in the second half. Deficit down to 10. 3 minutes, 45 seconds into second half action. Charlie Mitchell hands it off to Charles. Charles looking for help, finds Sanchez, back down low, Lorquet got it poked away. Mitchell with 7 on the shot clock, fakes going back towards the 3, drives the baseline, couldn't get it, rebound chances off the mark, still fighting for it, and eventually it's taken in by Obiora. Stretch feed for Leahy as he takes it in, gets it swatted away. What a recovery from Mitchell, the man who took the initial shot to swat it away from Leahy. Now Sanchez, nice feed in front, Hill, and the foul! A 3-point opportunity here in the second half, and the Beaks can stretch it back to that halftime lead of 13.
The ball movement by the Beacons it's the Corsairs' kryptonite right now. They can't keep up with the speed of this Beacons team, and that starts with their guards. Charles Mitchell making that amazing play of running back, great defense, throws it up to Alex Sanchez. He knows he's got trees in front of him. He's not going to go up there for that layup. Why not lay it off to Javaris Hill? And the strength and the length of him to go straight up to that hoop, get fouled, make those points. You saw him there. You saw the energy that he had coming off of that. You know that he's hot right now. He's playing his game. He can't stop that. It's really, really hard to stop Javaris Hill's momentum right now. And if the Beacons guards keep moving the ball like they are, it's really hard for the Corsairs themselves as a 5-man team to stop all 5 Beacons players.
UMass Boston up by 12. Their lead was 13 at halftime. It's bounced around to 10 and now back up to 12, and a free throw will be ensuing. Now, that has been really the sole Achilles heel today for the Beacons. At halftime, they were 3 of 15. This will be their first trip back. And at halftime, just 2 for 4 were the Corsairs. Beacons were shooting 64% from beyond the arc at halftime, led largely by the duo of Charlie Mitchell and Dasan Cinelli, who were 5 for 5. Here is Hill, back out of the timeout, trying to convert this 3-point opportunity. That awkward rotation on that ball. He's now 2 for 6 from the line. Still a 12-point game. They're double-team the man with the ball. It's Azor, and it pays off as he loses possession. Looked like Hill might have been stepping out of bounds, but he never had possession when he was, and the Beacons will try to take advantage. 3-on-3. Hands off Charles Mitchell from Charlie, and nothing there as it rims out. Comes off the top of the backboard and out of bounds off UMass Boston.
And for the first time today, we're seeing number 22, Michael Boyd, checking into the game. Didn't see him at all in the first half, and for him being the Beacons' leading scorer, averaging 13.6 points per game, and them having the success that they had in the first half, you got to wonder if Boyd's going to come into this game and try to make that heavy of an impact, or if the chemistry that the Beacons 5 or 6 that they had out on the court right now, it's unmatched.
It certainly can't hurt to have your leading scorer making his first appearance when you're already up 12 in the second half. We'll see what ensues. The foul was called on Charles Mitchell as second, inbounded for Azor. Azor handing it off Ackham. Driving in, thought about taking that fadeaway again, instead smartly hands it off as Anderson is fouled underneath, or excuse me, Alexander. Harry Alexander will head to the charity stripe, and he will shoot free throws for the first time today.
I believe that foul is going to go on Javaris, if I'm not mistaken. So I think that puts him only at 2 fouls, if I'm not pretty sure, yeah. So, I mean, realistically, the only player that's in foul trouble so far in this game is Obiora. But, in the first 5 minutes of the second half, been a little quiet, hasn't produced much offensively. But on the bright side for the Corsairs, hasn't picked up a fourth foul, which is going to be huge for them, especially down the stretch.
They're playing full court pressure defense, double teaming Mitchell with the ball. He finds his brother. And now back to Boyd, who, of course, just checked in for the first time a few minutes ago. Driving with the right hand. Cinelli hands it off for Hill, and he travels just before getting the shot away. So a rare misstep for Javaris here in the second half, as we are at the 14:44 mark, still an 11-point lead. Beacons answering with a full court pressure of their own, though not quite as aggressive. Charles watching as Ackham drives all the way through, draws the foul, and one. As a three-point opportunity for Atakan Akam, the native of Turkey. And that is the third foul now, all of a sudden, on Cinelli.
Well, Dasan's got 3, and then you see Malik Lorquet checks into the game, and it's not going to be for Cinelli. It's rather going to be for Charles Mitchell. But Lorquet's got 2, Cinelli's got 3, Charles Mitchell has 2, and yeah, Javaris still only has 1 foul. So on the bright side, you got a couple of big players. We haven't seen Mark Monroe much, so he's clean with his foul sheet. So especially come down here in the second half, that you're talking about being in the bonus, especially late down this game. That's something the Beacons really want to stay out of.
Great passing play, and Hill can't finish. Rebound chance, and unfortunately unable to put it in was Malik Lorquet, as that was unbelievable effort by the Beacons to break the press. Boyd was tied up, and then just like that, the unforced errors continue here in the second half for the Corsairs. It's thrown away by Leahy. Not something you see very often after Lorquet missed the layup. It looked like numbers the other way, and the Corsairs just throw it away as Boyd gets it back to Cinelli. They are applying a full four-court press with 3 players over, and Boyd is getting eaten alive. Connects with Cinelli just in time to get over. Beacons have numbers 3 on 2. No look feed, Lorquet, he's fouled, and he'll go to the line for 2. Not a bad play for Leahy, as Lorquet has yet to hit a free throw today.
Well, you saw there Michael Boyd getting triple teamed essentially. Gets the ball over to Dasan Cinelli, and on the corner, left bottom corner of your screen, you saw Javaris Hill yelling like, hey, either he was open or Malik Lorquet was open down there. If Cinelli had found them a second sooner, Malik Lorquet would have had a more open opportunity rather than getting fouled.
47-38 as Lorquet makes both free throws. How about that? As he hits them both, and the Beacons back up by 10. Boyd applying full court pressure. Got it away to Sieblum. Give and go from Ackham, and he puts it right in. Nice play to break the pressure and take advantage of the lack of men back. Cutting it back down to 8.
Well, the transition right now is what's hurting the Beacons the most. You saw they had a 13-point lead at some point here in this second half, and now you're down to single digits.
Yeah, transition has been an issue over the last couple of possessions. Makes you wonder why they're applying a full court pressure, but I'm not the coach. That's why I broadcast. As Boyd draws the foul, he'll head to the charity stroke. They're going to say it's on the floor. It is a push, and it is on the floor, and tying his shoe underneath is Boyd. So Michael and the Beacons will inbound it. It'll be Charlie Mitchell. Mitchell finds Hill, right back to Charlie. His speed should be able to be worked to his advantage here against Ackham. Instead, he hands it off for Boyd, covered by Azor. Boyd, the left hand, hands it off Mitchell. Ackham knocks it out, and that should stay here, and it does. Ackham wanted the call, won't get it.
8 seconds left in the shot clock, so Beacons can't really be playing around with the ball too much at the top of the key. Got to look for an opportunity to either go to the rim, try to reset that shot clock.
Boyd down low for Mitchell. One on the shot clock. He's rejected. That is a shot clock violation as Azor rises to the heavens to reject Boyd, who's had a tough entrance since coming in here in the second half. So it's 48-40. Beacons will continue pressure defense. And Azor almost turns it over. He gets it back. Almost went over and back as Seablum finds Azor, hands it down low. Alexander is rejected down low by UMass Boston. And then back out top of three from Leahy, and he drills it. It was Lorquet who had the block, but it pays off in the end for the Corsairs. And Jason Harris has seen enough. He'll call another timeout with 12:55 to go. The score, UMass Boston 48, UMass Dartmouth 43. We're going to go to a break. When we come back, we'll continue along this exciting second half and see if the Corsairs can continue their impressive comeback.
College has given me the flexibility to pursue my passions and my interests, and I've recreated my identity for myself aside from just being an athlete.
My greatest personal discovery has been that I am capable of doing things that I didn't know I was capable of doing.
To be able to study what I wanted to and continue to play the sport I love, all of those things came together very nicely in one package in Division III.
Out of the timeout. Jason Harris still discussing it with his team. It's 48-43. Along with Gigi Braga, I'm John Skudras. Beacons led by 13 at the half, and that lead has been whittled down to 2 possessions. They will have the ball as it'll be inbounded momentarily. Boyd out there with Charlie Mitchell. Cinelli, Hill, and Lorquet in the front court. Ackham, as they don't apply full court pressure, but instead half court as they double team Mitchell. Once he crosses that pink half court line, draws the foul on Azor, somehow just his first.
I mean, to still find a way to draw a foul there on that half court press for Azor, you're not really happy. I mean, only his first, but when you talk about team fouls, and that could catch up to you later on in this game when it comes to the bonus and the double bonus.
And then Azor's going to get 2 for the price of 1 as he was going for that steal and instead just arrived half a second, if not less, too late.
You see that a lot with guards. Going for the steal there, you got the right idea. Your timing's not completely down, and just a little bit of contact on that play, and it's too clear for the refs to not call it.
Cinelli brilliantly splits the double team, finds Boyd, deflected by Leahy, and it comes out of bounds off of Sean Leahy. And the Beacons just struggling to get their half-court offense set here out of that last timeout. Just 8 seconds on the shot clock. On defense, it's Azor, Ackham, Alexander, Leahy, and Seablum. As Mitchell finds Boyd, puts it right up. Oh, got off the backboard, gets a fresh set on the shot clock, but they don't need it. As another beautiful play by Malik Lorquet, the freshman playing beyond his years here in the latter portions of the season. Ackham thought about the 3. Cinelli came out on him. Ackham wants Cinelli, takes him, and a nice spinning runner as he gets it with 12 minutes to go, back down to 5. Mitchell taking the signals from Harris on the bench. Beacon slowing things down here, hands it off to Boyd. Boyd, ooh, he had Lorquet cutting and he waited too long, and that's going to lead to a turnover. Had him initially, should have pulled the trigger, and then, oh, nice play from Hill. That's a good play, though, by Hill, because that transition has killed the Beacons here in the second half.
Yeah, he's just doing his job, trying to stop the Corsairs there in transition, slow the momentum down a little bit. You chip away 5 seconds from the shot clock, which is also huge.
We have a media timeout on the court with the score. The Beacons 50, the Corsairs 45. We'll be back right here on the Beacons Broadcasting Network.
I did receive a non-athletic scholarship upon entering school.
I got the presidential scholarship, which was huge for me.
I think there's more opportunities for academic scholarships in Division III.
I did receive academic scholarships. Just being involved on campus, being a leader, all those things combined kind of get me recognized. It's a great experience for me.
You see there Coach Harris discussing things with his team. This lead the Beacons had at 13 at the half after an exceptional first half that saw them shoot over 65% from beyond the arc. But their struggles at the free throw line, where they shot just 20%, 3 for 15, were quite pronounced. And it's rearing its head right now because the Beacons could be up by double digits still, and yet now the lead down to just 5. So UMass Boston will get an opportunity here coming out of the media timeout on defense to try to force a turnover. The inbounds by Alexander to Azor. One-on-one, it's Sanchez, Mitchell, Hill, Cinelli, and Boyd still for the Beacons. Pull-up jumper, Seablum, rims out, rebound Alexander. Harry double team, nice handoff, beautiful play to get it to Ackham, who was heated up here in the second half. And all of a sudden, it's a 3-point game.
It's the rebounds right there on that play specifically, but even throughout this entire half, just not matching up. Beacon's bigs are not doing their job of boxing out. It's not that they're not getting up. They're not putting a body on them first.
And Mitchell turns it over as he falls down. Azor takes it all the way in, right past Cinelli, and it's a 1-point game and another timeout for Coach Harris. Doesn't seem to matter what strings he's pulling. The Beacons are crumbling. We're going to go to a break. When we come back, exactly 11 minutes to go, the Beacons will try to hold on to the lead. It's 50-49 UMass Boston right here on the Beacons Broadcasting Network.
UMass Boston was my first choice because when I came to the campus, I saw that there was a lot of diversity. There's a lot of people. Here there is a lot of international students, so it's really cool to meet people from different countries, different parts of the world. I'm Julia Murphy. I'm from Canton, Massachusetts.
I'm Olivia Murphy. I'm from Canton, Massachusetts.
We're sisters.
We're sisters.
I play volleyball and she plays basketball. Here they have a freshman success community. So each major has their own community that you can join as a freshman and you take classes.
Out of the timeout. Beacons trying to recover from what has been a dismal second half. Sanchez drains the 3. What a way to answer out of the timeout as Alex Sanchez delivers from beyond the arc back up to 4.
Talk about starting your momentum there, and what a better way to do it than a 3-pointer, right?
Absolutely. Just with the doctor order, the Beacons killed from beyond the arc in the first half, nothing in the second. Meanwhile, Azor is heating up as Marcus has delivered, I believe, 3 of the last 4 buckets here. Ackham with 1 in the intermediary. Beacons leading it by 2. 53-51. Charles Mitchell as Lorquet will check in shortly. Mitchell dangling past Ackham, hands it off to Boyd. Boyd driving, finds Mitchell. Charles for 3, he hits it! 2 for the price of 1 as Sanchez hits the 3. Then Mitchell hits the 3. It's the Boston 3 party, and the Beacons back up 5, and then they force the turnover as Hill pokes it away. Sanchez for the cherry on top, and he drills it. 3 for 3 out of the timeout, and the lead is back up to 8 as UMass Boston has answered the call of Jason Harris. Timeout, Brian Baptiste.
Whoosh, I don't even need to say anything. You pretty much covered every single base that there needed to cover. What a way to respond. You take a 1-point lead and you stretch it out to 8. And what better way to do it than 3 back-to-back 3-pointers. Man, this crowd is electric right now, and as they should be. This is what the Beacons team, that's what they're trying to do. I mean, the amount of people here at this gym, this is what they want to see, and the Beacons are giving them a great show. See the replay right there on your screen. You start off with Alex Sanchez's first 3. Thought we were going to see them there in concession, but regardless, I mean, what a great way to start. Can they keep this momentum going for the next 9 minutes is the big question.
Oh, it looked like the castles were falling for UMass Boston, but the structure is standing still as the Beacons lead by 8. The lead was down and gone. They had trailed for the first time, now right back at it. The Beacons trying to take it away, they do! Charles Mitchell's got nobody ahead, and he'll lay it up and in as the Beacons have buoyed the lead back up to double digits. It's 61-51. And Gigi, I don't know about you, as this quick shot from Azor rims out and Boyd gets the rebound. I'm shocked Arinzi Obiora is not out there and has not been out there. He's got the 4 fouls, but you don't have much time left as that is up and in from Hill. And Javaris delivers, Beaks back up by 12. And they are going to see Ashworth check in shortly.
Well, if you're Coach Brian Baptiste, I mean, you got to wonder, and you get a play like that. You're trying to cut the deficit a little bit closer before you bring Obiona into this game. He's got 4 fouls on him, so he's only got 1 left to give. And if you're the Beacons, as soon as he comes into this game, you are targeting him every single time. Put him in the paint, get him his 5th foul, and work with what you got on the court.
Foul on Ackham as Ashworth will check in. Joining him on the court, Marquise Jones. First time since the first half, the junior for Dartmouth comes back onto the court. The Beacons lead by 9. That's the 3rd foul on Ackham as those fouls continue to pile up. And you say, well, you'd love to foul the Beacons in the first half because they only shot 20%, but this is where it rears its ugly head. 8.5 to go. Boyd finds Sanchez. He's red hot. Oh, just off the back, ironed it out. As Sanchez was looking to make it 3 for 3 in the last few minutes. 9-point game. Down low. Jones, nice job maintaining possession. Draws the foul, but a good foul nonetheless by Lorquet. Forced Jones to make him at the charity stripe.
Yeah, you said it there. Give him a couple points here or there. And again, that's 3 there on Malik Lorquet. And that's something that you got to be careful. I mean, UMass Dartmouth has 16 fouls on them. UMass Boston's got 5. There's 8 minutes left in this game. If it keeps going this way, we're going to see teams in the double bonus. And in that category, the Corsairs are dominant over the Beacons.
9-point game. As Jones will set up for the second free throw. Marquise, a native of Randolph, Massachusetts, and he misses another one as he's now 1 for 3 from the line. 63-55, 1 for 2 on that trip. Driving with the left hand, Boyd, and he's rejected immediately, and it comes off of Boyd's hand. What a play from Ackham, who just picked up his 3rd foul moments ago. That didn't deter him from getting aggressive down low.
Michael Boyd just hasn't seemed to find his rhythm yet in this game. You know, a little iffy here and there, decision making on that play. I mean, you got to credit him to go to the hoop, but getting that block and then getting that tipped off of you. And it could be, you know, not playing in that first half and coming in cold in the second half, but you got to find a way to make adjustments.
Just like that, it's down to 6 as the bucket delivered down low by Ashworth on a good feed by Jones. And all of a sudden, it goes from excitement here in Clark Athletic Center to apprehension. 7.5 to go. Mitchell driving, and he loses possession. Got whacked in the face, no call. He can't believe it. As Ashworth finds Ackham to cut it to 3, does. As quick as the wind blows, the Beacons lead goes from 9 down to 3. As Charlie Mitchell check in shortly, Lorquet draws the foul and it led to the stripe. Ashworth can't believe it, but he did get him with the body. And now Lorquet's going to have to make these free throws as we will get a media timeout on the court. We're going to go to a break. That's the 3rd foul on Ashworth. When we come back, this game continues. A roller coaster ride of a topsy-turvy affair. The Beacons were up by as many as 13. The lead was trimmed down to 3, back up to 9, and now back down to 1 possession. We'll be back right here on the Beacons Broadcasting Network.
Cheer for the stumbles. The he shoulda had that's. And the tears that linger. For in those moments, greatness lies. There, you will find the provoked, the determined, the unified. It's in those moments that champions are born.
Out of the timeout, Beacons up by 3. That was a media timeout, 7:15 to go. The snow has begun to fall outside, and inside it's hot and
Moving
toasty.
from Turkey, it was a rough
Blood
journey
is boiling
for me
as both
because
these teams come
when
down
you
to
don't
the
really
wire.
speak the language
We'll
that
see
well.
if any
And
tears
when you
fall
don't
for
really-
either of these teams at the end, and what has been a game both deserve to win. Right now, Lorquet is trying to get his free throws to fall, something that has been evasive all year. Beautiful shot on the first. He drills that one. 64-60. Gets them both. So Lorquet now has made 3 free throws in the second half after struggling in the first. Good recovery in what has been a beautiful game for him. It's a 5-point affair. Alexander back to Ackham. Ackham. Nice spin move. Peels back, finds Ashworth. He can stroke it, and he shows just how well he can as he drills a 3, and just like that, it's a 2-point game. The closest deficit since very, very early on in this game. We're talking opening seconds. As Sanchez finds Lorquet, almost lost possession. Good job pulling it back. He has Mitchell. Beacons down to 15 on the shot clock. Beacons up by 2. Driving by Ackham, using his speed. What a play by Mitchell. He couldn't finish as he hit the underside of the rim. And we're going to get a jump ball on a break for the Beaks because it'll stay here for the time being. And we're going to get substitutions. Javaris Hill will check on back in for Sanchez. Beacons get more size.
6 minutes left in this game. This is where coaching's really going to come into this. You got Brian Baptiste trying to make some calls, and Jason Harris has got to figure out who he's going to put out there on the court because, things are going to get chippy.
And one as Hill drives in and gets the bucket and the foul. Just what the doctor ordered. And we'll see if Hill needs a doctor as he's still down on the court after getting whacked on that foul. As the trainer will head on over to take a look at the freshman Javaris Hill, who has put together, as I said at halftime, a Draymond Green-like performance on the stat sheet as he pops back up.
We'll see if we can take a look at the replay of that play there. Try to catch exactly what happened to Hill there. It might have been an elbow to the face or.
Let's see it here. As you get the whole sequence.
Oh, yeah.
Chin. Looks like his chin hit somebody.
Chin hit it right in the elbow. Well,
he is just getting taped. He looks like he's probably bleeding. May have bit his tongue. Sure, we've all been there before. Never a fun experience. Yeah, he's definitely bleeding from the mouth, but he's going to head back out there because he's got to shoot this free throw. Referee's discussion with Coach Harris. As Beacons still don't have their full 5 out there and on the free throw line. It's a 4-point game, 67-63. Along with Gigi Braga, I'm John Skudras. In this game, the Beacons really dominated the first half of play, thanks in large part to a ferociously aggressive defense and great three-point shooting. Hill's going to be replaced, and that probably means his day may be done as he is out and shooting free throws, which means he can't come back in if I'm not mistaken. So it'll be Cinelli who is going to shoot the charity shot, and he delivers, and so it's back up to a 5-point game.
I think he might just be getting, I don't think you can play if you got blood coming off of you, so hopefully there's a chance Hill can come back into this game if you're a Beacons fan.
Alexander misses. Beacons regain possession on the rebound by the shortest man out there, Hill. Boyd checked in for Hill. Shortest man out there, Mitchell, as Mitchell hands it off to Boyd. Smaller lineup now without Javaris Hill. Sanchez will check in shortly. Driving with the left hand, Dasan Cinelli, and beautiful play. Rising up above Alexander. The Beacons have gotten that lead back up to 7. Azor harassed from behind. Beacons back on that full court pressure. 5:42 to go. Ackham pump fakes, almost lost it. Guarded by Mitchell. He's got the size advantage, and Charlie fouls him. And so Ackham should head to the free throw line. And he will. That's the third on Mitchell with 5:38 to go. And I think Charlie's the man checking out because he's limping a little bit, and it looks like Sanchez may come in for him. And now, for the first time in at least 10 minutes, Gigi, Arinze Obiora checks into the game with 4 fouls.
Well, you've cut the lead down to 6. With this free throw, you make it. It's down to 5. It's a 2-possession game. 5 minutes left in the game. It's not doing you any good sitting there on the bench. Might as well put him in.
Ackham hits the second. It's down to 5 as Ackham hits them both. 70-65 as this game continues to shift. And out of bounds. No foul called as Charles Mitchell runs out of bounds. Great pressure defense. And the ball goes back to Dartmouth.
That double team and that full court pressure that the Corsairs have been executing has been snake bitten for the Beacons. I mean, they can't seem to find a way to get out of it. whether, it's Michael Boyd on the point, it's, Charlie Mitchell, Charles Mitchell, whoever it may be, they're struggling to get through that double team.
Pull-up three-pointer off back iron and a foul. It's going to be on Lorquet, I believe, as he tied up Arinzi Obiora. And with 5:24 to go, Obiora head to the charity stripe for a 1-and-1. Because the Beacons are in the penalty, as are the Corsairs. That's the 4th foul on Lorquet. Free throw is good. Big shot by Obiora. Second chance, it rattles in. Back to a 3-point game. They got as close as 1 in this second half. As tied up Cinelli, he's in trouble. Call timeout instead. And they do get the timeout. Last possible moment, Charles Mitchell shows his leadership, coming over and calling the timeout. And we will see the Beacons talk this over. The last 2 possessions, Gigi, that full court pressure double team has eaten UMass Boston alive.
They can't seem to find a way out of it. They're not working together as a team, and whether or not they practiced it before the game or not, you've seen it quite often. It's not the first time that they're doing it. This is about, I want to say, like the 10th or 12th time that they've gotten into this full court press. At some point, you're taking all these timeouts. You got to talk about how to break through that press.
Folks, a reminder, you can check out highlights, full archived video of this game and many, many more at beaconsathletics.com. Also check out all the up-to-date news, info, stat updates, and live scoring all over our social media avenues at UMass Beacons. That's the @ symbol, UMass Beacons, on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. You're a big Instagram fan, Gigi. I see you posted on there.
Big Instagram girl. It's a millennial thing,
Well, what is the definition of a millennial, though? Because I have an Instagram. Now, I'm only 31, so is that a millennial? I don't know anymore.
There's got to be a chart on that.
Because isn't there a Generation Z after the millennials? Are you guys that, or is that after you?
That's too much to keep up with.
Melissa Fischel said it was, you said before or after? Older than. Okay, so maybe I'm Generation Z. Is that swatted out of bounds? How about getting off topic in a 1-possession game as that comes out off of UMass Boston. And so the Corsairs take possession. It's a 3-point game, 4:58 to go. Obiora will inbound. Beacons full court pressure. Ackham comes all the way back to help out. Hands it off to Azor, who's had a good second half. And the Corsairs can tie the game for the first time since the first half, and instead they cut it back down to 1. That's been the closest this game has been here in the second half, is 1 point for the Beacons in their favor. Beacons have not trailed in this game. As it's 70-69, driving is Mitchell, rattles in. What a play from Charles Mitchell. Seems to come through when you really need him to, as Charles gets the friendly roll.
Yeah, that ball touched every single part of the rim there. Happened to go in there for Charles, and it's exactly what the Beacons needed.
And then the miss from Obiora, rebounded by Lorquet. Good hustle. Boyd. A switch puts Sanchez on Ashworth. 4 minutes to go. Still a 3-point game. Sanchez driving all the way in, and he got it to go. What a play with the left hand, as Alex Sanchez, when the team has needed him here in the second half, has come through. He drilled those threes earlier on in the half and then got the runner there. 5-point game. Seablum drives right through, and he's rejected! And a second chance opportunity put in by Ackham, but what a block from Lorquet.
Making his presence known in the paint. The only problem is that there was no secondary help there for Malik Lorquet. You get the first block, and then there's no Beacon in sight anywhere there. It's all blue jerseys. UMass Dartmouth gets the points right back. 3-point game.
Oh, Charles Mitchell, the running lay-in. Nothing but net. And Charles has scored 4 straight for the Beaks. It's a 5-point affair, 76-71 with 3:12 to go. And then Mitchell takes it away from Ashworth. Beacon's got numbers. Sanchez takes it in. Cannot get the roll as Mitchell had found Sanchez, but the Beacons couldn't take advantage of the turnover forced by Charles. Here's Seablum trying to answer off the iron and out. Rebound for Boyd. 2:53 to go. 76-71. Boyd finds Sanchez. Alex back to Michael Boyd. Score bug back up there as you see. It's actually 2:36 to go, so a few seconds off right now. As the Beacons watch as Charles Mitchell misses. Tried to go with the right hand from the left side. That's a no-no, and that leads to a rebound for Ackham. Hands it off Azor. 5-point game, right back. Ackham coming in. Didn't have full grasp of the ball. Great play from Cinelli. Swats it away from the man who's been invisible most of the day, Obiora. One man who hasn't is Mitchell, but good defense, Azor. What a save by Sanchez, and he gets it to Malik Lorquet. What a play. Sanchez wants to turn hustle into offense, and he is fouled down low by Ashworth with 2:07 to go.
And just for giggles, Dasan Cinelli goes and hits that NBA three-pointer. Just to let the Corsairs know if there wasn't a foul, he would have sunk it anyway, but to no avail. I mean, speed kills. And when you're talking about a guy like Alex Sanchez, that is what he uses to his advantage. He knows he's not the tallest guy out there on the court, but that in no way, shape, or form stops him from getting buckets. He's a great shooter, an amazing defender, and then when you give him too much space, he takes it right to you. You know, he makes it hurt.
That is the fourth foul on Ashworth. We have a timeout. As is that Charles Mitchell talking to the trainer right now? Okay, he's laying down. You can't see him on the screen. It's a little bit to the left. Take a peek over to the left a little. It looks like Charles Mitchell down. There it is. Now we have to change it over anyway. And they're too busy over there doing who knows what. Seth Arensky's back in the broadcasting booth, overseeing things. Always good to see Papa Arensky. 76-71.
Good old Seth joining us up here. Did some color for the women's game. Decided to take the men's game off.
Must be
Hasn't
nice.
really had much of an off time. We've had a couple of technical difficulties here.
Yeah, well, you know what? When in doubt, call Seth. Who will then call
Dave.
somebody else.
Seth, who will then call Dave.
And then call our streaming service. So out of the timeout, 2:07 to go. 76-71. Beacons on top. It'll be Sanchez shooting 2 free throws. Or no, excuse me, 1 and 1 still. That was the 9th foul. Big free throw here. Can make it a 3-possession game if he hits both. He hits the first. Back up to 6. This is the biggest free throw of the season for UMass Boston. A season full of missed free throws, and he delivers as Sanchez got the job done. 78-71. 122 seconds to go. The Beacons playing for their postseason lives. Leahy looking for the cutter, Azor, but Sanchez stuck to him like white on rice. Driving, Ashworth down low, Leahy rejected down low as rising up is Cinelli. And he delivers the big blow with the block. 100 seconds to go. Beacons with plenty of time, 20 seconds on the shot clock.
You got to wonder if the Corsairs are going to foul, and it doesn't look like they're going to go for the foul.
Charlie just playing with Ashworth here. Gives it off to Boyd. Boyd with Azor on him. 6 on the shot clock, driving in. Beautiful layup and good as Michael Boyd didn't play at all in the first half. Comes through in the clutch. UMass back up by 3 possessions. It's a 9-point game. Leahy finding the man, that is Obiora, off the mark, and the rebound taken in. And now they're going to have to start fouling with just 66 seconds to go as Charlie Mitchell draws it. The foul by Azor, and Charlie will walk the length for 2 free throws.
That's a smart play there by the Beacons as well to get the ball into the hands of Charlie Mitchell. You know that they're going to foul you at some point. One of the better free throw shooters on this team. See if he can, extend the lead a little bit more.
Beacons smartly are just going to pull all their men back and allow a rebound on a miss. He does miss the first, does Mitchell. He makes one more. It's a 4-possession game, and pretty much I should say. puts this one out of reach, but still plenty of time to go with 66 seconds, so who knows, as the second is not good. And it had insult to injury. It gets stuck up there. Although unlike in the women's game, Obiora is tall enough to swat it out. Had to get a broom to do that the last time. So 66 seconds left. It remains a 3-possession game. Those are huge free throw misses. We'll see if the Corsairs can take advantage. Here's Azor. Marcus, one-on-one with Sanchez. Thought about taking the drive. Instead finds Obiora. Ooh, that would have been a big make. Instead, he'll go to the charity stripe for 2. And Malik Lorquet, if I'm not mistaken, may have just fouled out of the game. He did. And so Malik has fouled out. What a day for Malik Lorquet. His 5th foul. But nonetheless, an inspired performance from young number 30 in white. He'll be replaced by Monroe. Mark hasn't played since the first 10 minutes of the game.
Well, talk about fouling out of the game, but Malik Lorquet with the double-double, 18 points, 10 rebounds. I'd say he's done his job here tonight.
A job well done. Go get your dinner, young man, as the Beacons lead by 8. Obiora will try to cut it down to 7, and he does. Substitution as Mitchell will check on in for Dasan Cinelli. It's Charles Mitchell inbounding. Charlie Mitchell and Michael Boyd are the guards. Boyd gets the pass. Good penetration as Charles Mitchell inbounded it to Boyd, then sprinted out and gets the ball and then gets the foul drawn, and he'll head to the charity stripe for 2. And Cinelli will head right back in. No chance to even catch a drink. And that is the 5th foul for Ashworth, so Jake has fouled out. Solid performance nonetheless today for Ashworth. He had a couple of moments where he helped bring this team back in it with his ability to stroke the 3.
Conversation here happening between Corsairs trying to figure out. I mean, they are in the bonus, so Mitchell will get 2 shots. He makes 1, it's huge.
For Ashworth, Gigi, it's a solid day for him. He shot 5 for 9 from the field. Unfortunately for him, didn't get a whole lot of support. As that one rims out. That's a big miss. 7-point game. 50 seconds left. Azor for Acom. NBA 3. It's a little short. Rebound to Charlie Mitchell. And, he got it ball stripped. Azor trying to cut it down to 5. He does. 42.3 to go. Timeout, UMass Dartmouth. So that is a big turnover by Mitchell after the missed free throw by Mitchell. And it's down again to 5. Still plenty of time left with the Corsairs calling timeout and the way their full court pressure D is giving the Beacons fits.
I mean, you can't take this Corsairs team out at any point in time. There's still 42 seconds left. You just saw Azor there make an athletic play, to say the least, trying to get his team back in. They're not going to quit. They were down by 9 at some point with, I believe it was like 100 seconds left in this game. And they're not just going to say, hey, you know what, we're going to take the L on this one, be 11-4 in conference play. You're obviously still making the LEC tournament, but the Corsairs also have something to play for here. Home court advantage in the Little East Conference is huge, no matter what seed you're on.
Absolutely. Corsairs still have a chance at the number 1 seed, an outside chance. They would need to win today and then win on Saturday and hope that EastCon loses today against Castleton. Do not have an update yet on that, as well as on Saturday. And Keene State also loses on Saturday, as Sanchez is able to find Boyd. They penetrate it and are able to get it over half court. Now Boyd will head to the charity stripe. With the Beacons up 5, if he makes both, it would turn into a 3-possession game. Critical shots coming up. Meanwhile, for UMass Boston, a win puts them at 7-8. Which would tie them coming into, or which at worst would tie them with Rick if they win tonight against WestCon. If they lose, they drop into a tie with Plymouth and would have to win on Saturday in order to clinch a spot.
Huge game tonight here for the Beacons. It takes a little bit of pressure off your backs as well going into this Rhode Island College game on Saturday.
A win today, for all intents and purposes, does put the Beacons in. They have a game up on Plymouth and the tiebreaker. 82-75, up and in with 29.6 to go. That shot hit by Dalen Sanders-Dyer. Haven't said his name in a while, and now tied up. And they do call the foul. They're hoping to get a jump ball as That was Obiora and Atkin. So 4th on Ackham. They'll walk the length of the court again. And Boyd will go right back from whence he came. 5-point game, 27.5 to go. And much like most basketball games, the final 2 minutes prolonged.
Can't escape it, right? You know it's coming. Especially late in the season in Little East Conference play. You're going to see it no matter what. This is pretty much a conference game. It has the feel of a conference game. The urgency that both teams came out with today, this is what you're going to see going from here on out.
Making both is Boyd, back to 3 possessions. They're going to have to hit a 3-pointer. Obiora hits nothing, and it's out of bounds. And the Beacons gain possession, up by 7 with 19.4 to go. And the crowd starting to feel it, as the Beacons' 3-possession lead could be buoyed with a couple of free throws, but nonetheless, time is running out. And they're just going to try to stretch the court. What a feed! Montana to Rice, Brady to Edelman, and Cinelli to Mitchell, as the Beacons with 16.2 to go have all but wrapped it up. And they will win this evening's affair, barring the unthinkable, with a 7-point lead heading to the free throw line.
Yeah, why not throw Charles Mitchell at the line and let him get a couple more points at this point? But you mentioned the athleticism of this Beacons team. I mean, got to throw a baseball reference in there. If you saw the video of Mookie Betts with his amazing athleticism that he had in football, I mean, the guy can bowl, do everything. And the Mitchell twins showing the exact same athleticism here. No 3-point shot there for the Corsairs, and now we get another foul. So Michael Boyd, I mean, for having a slow start to the second half, he's picked up pretty much all of his points off of free throws that the Corsairs are giving him. And hey, why not? You know, points are points no matter how you get them.
And that's the end of the day, Gigi, for Obiora. A forgettable one at that for Rinzi. After he put up 25 and 17 against the Beacons last time, he was completely neutered in this one. As the Beacons up by 8 with less than 7 seconds to go. Michael Boyd, what about getting your chances to put up some points? Not playing the entire first half. He's now headed for his 5th and 6th free throws of the last 60 seconds. And the Beacons are going to be on their way to a victory. What does that mean? Their playoff hopes very much still alive. It's going to come down to Saturday at Rhode Island College. The winner of that game is in the playoffs. The loser is out. As the last chance from Seablum, the rebound is up and good from the guard, that being Sanders Dyer. But the Beacons' dire need for a victory has come true as they win it by 8, 87-79, and Jason Harris's club still very much alive. A win on Saturday against the Anchormen, and they will be going dancing with everything coming down to Saturday afternoon. We're going to go to a break. When we come back, I'll speak to Coach Jason Harris courtside and get his impressions from a topsy-turvy affair and a victory against UMass Dartmouth. The final score again, your Beacons 87, the Corsairs of Dartmouth 79. We'll be back right here on the Beacons Broadcasting Network.
I'm Elizabeth Clavin, sophomore business management major from Edina, Minnesota. I love being a part of this volleyball team. Volleyball is what brought me to UMass Boston. I looked at our recruiting website one last time and saw UMass Boston on it, came out for a visit the next week, and it kind of hit all the boxes that I was looking for. In a good city, good academic school, good volleyball program. It had everything I wanted. Although it was far away from home, I knew this is where I wanted to be. Winning 6 back-to-back LEC titles is really a dynasty, I think, and Terry has really focused hard on recruiting and building this dynasty and continuing to build a program that can continue to win championships, and it's really lucky to be a part of something this great. Last year I was the Little East Conference Defensive Player of the Year, All-Conference second team, NCAA Regional MVP of the regional tournament, ABC All-Region Honorable Mention, and New England Women's Volleyball Association All-Rookie Team and Honorable Mention. I think my favorite game would have to be playing in the regional championship last year. We played against a really good Williams team, and I think that match, we started off a little shaky and lost the first set. We've lost in the whole playoff season, and I think that kind of shook us a little bit. We came back firing, and we're ready to go those next couple games. Our coaches are bringing in a lot of really strong girls who want to make a commitment and make an impact in this program, and I think that is why we're continuing to do well and will continue to do well for the next
few years. Being a student here has been really awesome as well. I've recently started taking more of my business classes and found that it's a good choice and a good fit for me. And eventually, I hope to open my own business and kind of be successful and do what I love at the end of the day.
Welcome back courtside with the winning coach this evening, Coach Jason Harris. Coach, I talked to you at halftime. You guys had that 13-point lead, but you didn't have a single doubt that the Corsairs were going to bring it their all, and they were going to cut that lead down. They got it as close as one. You guys persevered and were able to pull off a huge victory, keeping your playoff hopes very much alive. Talk a little bit about tonight's game and how you guys were able to hold on against a very good Dartmouth squad.
I mean, it's conference games. You know, maybe we won tonight because of some of the games we lost. You know, this is very similar to the last game. We led for 38 minutes, and they were able to squeak it out. You know, down Javaris late, guys fouling out. It just was a total team win. You know, so I'm proud of the guys in that. You know, we challenged them, and we haven't always been consistent. We haven't always played the right way, but, you know, as long as we're doing it late, that's all that matters. But kids did a really good job. I'm proud that we were able to win for Rob. He'll always remember that on senior day. And I'm proud that we were able to win the last game at home for the year.
Absolutely. Rob Nascimento, you started him on his senior day, the lone senior on your team, so a lot of eyes on him. You could maybe see butterflies affecting him, but it didn't. He played exceptionally in his short stint he had out there, a guy who doesn't often get a lot of minutes for you guys, but he had some points, and he also came up big defensively. It's got to be sad to see a leader on and off the court leave like Rob Nascimento.
He's just a good man. You know, he's a great man. Great man, even better teammate. You know, I can't say enough about the kid. It's important to me that he got in. It's important that he scored. He's carried himself the right way, you know, like a man, maturely for the whole year, for his 2 years here. So,
now from your senior to your freshman, whether it be Lorquet, whether it be Hill, they were outstanding today. Your freshman came through, especially on the front court. I mean, Lorquet put together a Draymond Green-like stat line. Maybe I don't want to pump his tires too much, but it was impressive, especially in that first half of play. Talk a little bit about the growth of those freshmen now. You're not really freshmen anymore once you get to this point. You got to act like men.
Yeah, exactly. They got to be men. And again, they were able to play through a lot of mistakes this year. So hopefully that's what the growth is now. It's from playing through all those mistakes during the year. You know, but there's also a lot of other kids that didn't play tonight who've also played hard, you know, all year. So again, a total team win. Just really proud to be these guys' coach tonight.
Absolutely. Last one, Coach. Saturday, big day. You guys take on Rhode Island College. You got to win that to get yourselves the guaranteed spot here in the postseason. What are you going to be telling your boys about Saturday to get their mindsets ready for basically a playoff game?
We've had a playoff, you know, mentality, or at least approach as a staff the last couple of weeks. You have to once February comes, so nothing will change. We challenged them tonight. I think actually with a win we might have been in. I haven't seen the other scores or the other scenarios, but
wins,
so. Okay, that doesn't, you know, whatever. So again, doesn't change much for us, man. We want to win every game we play. So again, we'll approach Rick like we approach these guys, and hopefully we'll do a good job. But I do want to say thank you to the UMass Boston, the Beacon Sports Network, all the hard work you guys do. I think we have the best broadcast in the entire conference. So hats off to you guys. We really appreciate the coverage you guys give us. And really hats off to you guys, man. Really proud to work with you guys.
Thank you, Coach Harris. Hats off to you. Another great season. You guys recovering here when it matters, trying to put together a great run. Always fun watching your boys out there. Good luck down there in Rhode Island.
Thank you.
Thank you. Coach Jason Harris with the kind words. We got kind words for him aplenty coming up here on the post-game show on the Beacons Broadcasting Network. When we come back, check out the highlights of the second half, the stats, the individual statistics, and take a look ahead to Saturday's battle against the Anchormen of Rhode Island College. That's up next right here on the Beacons Broadcasting Network.
And come out, you know, guns blazing. You have nothing to lose at this point. Take a halftime break. You get 15 minutes. Try to get, you know, your cool together and come out, you know, guns blazing. You have nothing to lose at this point.
As it swiped away, but right to Malik Lorquet. Lorquet double team, goes right through them and gets the roll. Malik Lorquet.
Football throw. I mean, you know, they did play football in high school and just quarterbacking it right to
the initial shot to swat it away from Leahy. Now Sanchez, nice feed in front, Hill, and the foul. A three-point opportunity. Charles watching as Ackham drives all the way through, draws the foul, and one. UMass Boston. And then back out top of three from Leahy, and he drills it. As Mitchell finds Boyd, puts it right up. Oh, got off the backboard, gets a fresh set on the shot clock, but they don't need it. As another beautiful play.
Beacons bigs are not doing their job of boxing out. It's not that they're not getting up. They're not putting a body on them first.
And Mitchell turns it over as he falls down. Azor takes it all the way in, right past. Beacons trying to recover from what has been a dismal second half. Sanchez drains the three. What a way to answer.
Do it than a three-pointer, right?
Absolutely. Just with the doctor order, the Beacons killed from beyond the arc in the first half. Nothing in the second. Meanwhile, Azor is it off to Boyd. Boyd driving, finds Mitchell. Charles for three. He hits it. 2 for 3. It's the Boston 3 party, and the Beacons back up 5, and then they force the turnover as Hill pokes it away. Sanchez for the cherry on top, and he drilled for the first time. Now right back at it. The Beacons trying to take it away. They do. Charles Mitchell's got nobody ahead, and he'll lay it up and in as the Beacons have buoyed the lead back. Obiora is not out there and has not been out there. He's got the 4 fouls, but you don't have much time left as that is up and in from Hill, and Javaris delivers. They are going to see Ashworth check in shortly.
Well, if you're Coach Brian Baptiste, I mean, you got to wonder, and you get a play like that. You're trying to cut the...
He can't believe it. As Ashworth finds Ackham to cut it to 3, he does. As quick.
He's trying to make some calls, and Jason Harris has got to figure out who's going to put out there on the court, because you know, things are going to get chippy.
And one as Hill drives in and gets the bucket. There's Hill. Sanchez will check in shortly. Driving with the left hand, Dasan Cinelli, and beautiful play. Rising up above a 3-point game. Sanchez driving all the way in, and he got it to go. What a play with the left hand as Alex, 5-point game. Seablum drives right through, and he's rejected. And a second chance opportunity put in by Ackham, but what a block from Lorquet.
I mean, there, it's all blue jerseys. UMass Dartmouth gets the points right back. 3-point game.
Oh, Charles Mitchell, the running lay-in. Nothing but net. And Charles has scored 4 straight for the Valley. He swats it away from the man who's been invisible most of the day, Obiora. One man who hasn't is Mitchell, but good defense, Azor. What a save by Sanchez, and he gets it to Malik Lorquet. What a play. Sanchez, white on Rice. Driving, Ashworth down low, Leahy rejected down low as rising up. Welcome back to the Beacons Broadcasting Network. My voice is gone. Glad it's after the game. John Scooter's here with Gigi Braga. Gigi, what a game. You know, we look back at that women's game and ended in a 1-point affair. That was a roller coaster ride. This one even more so. In the first half of play, the Beacons led by as many as 13, and then the lead dwindled down to 1. And then they were able to come back and win it by 8, thanks to clutch performances all the way around. You heard Coach Harris say it, whether it be his freshman, his lone senior, or the upper and lower classmen in between. They were all outstanding today. Not a single player can look back at this game and say they didn't contribute. And as you look at the final stats, if you're Dartmouth, on the other hand, I mean, those aren't terrible stats, 38-32. I mean, that's not great, the field goal percentage, but look at the Beacons, G. 53% from the field, 57% from beyond the arc. The free throw percentage, not so bueno, but at the same time, everything else was solid as UMass Boston comes out with the 8-point victory. And when you look back at this game, the fact that it was even a 49% free throw mark after it was 20% in the first half, that was really the difference. Beacons won by 8, and in the second half, they were able to knock down the free throws that they weren't able to do in the first half to come away with the victory.
And imagine what else happens, except for the fact that our graphics, yet again, don't work at the end of the game. Sorry about that, folks, if you're still tuning in with us. But we'll read them off to you. I think it's the first time we've seen a 5 in the field goal and the 3-point percentage for the Beacons this season. I mean, just shooting 57% from beyond the arc is incredible. You'd like to see the free throw numbers go up, but you can do without if you're getting the production from great shooting from the field and from beyond the arc. Got to be happy with their performance here today. And we got them right back up.
Yeah, beautiful. Thank you so much, Seth Orensky, for being here. As we go forward to the individual statistics, Here on the post-game show, beautiful. Malik Lorquet led the way with 18 points, tied with Dasan Cinelli as well. Rebounds, Malik, 10 points, the double-double before he fouled out. What a performance. Coach talked about his freshman. Charlie Mitchell, 3 steals. He was great. Javaris Hill, 3 blocks. On the other side, Attican Atcam, wow, double-double, almost a triple-double if he had 2 more assists. Quiet triple-double for Attican Atcam, the native of Turkey. Marcus Azor also had a solid second half, finished with 16 points and 4 steals. Take a look at the production team. I want to thank them as always. Our producer and color commentator today, Gigi Braga. Great job as always. Our directors, Mary Jo Murphy, Alyssa Fugiel, Allie Crawford doing a fine job on instant replay. Our camera operators, Eileen Shee, Mel Fitzgerald, Alyssa Tully, and Jill Francis as always. Fantastic. And if you don't want to take my word for it, ask Coach Jason Harris. He said we were the best in the business at this level. He can't tell a lie. I won't tell a lie either. For everyone involved, thank you so much this evening and this season. The Beacons win it by the final of 87-79. Good night, good luck, and good basketball. We'll see you next time right here on